All right, we are live on the Monday Massacre. What is going on, everybody?
What's up,
What's going on,
YouTube?
guys? What's up, guys?
Oh, shit, you know what? Let me do this because I'm going to get this blaring sound from my other fucking screen in about 10 seconds.
This isn't you. This isn't the Monday Massacre without the Cobra's cat. Where's the cat?
Code, where's the cat?
know, she's around here
Where's the
someplace.
pussy
I
at
don't know.
somewhere?
Where's that puss?
I
Hi.
I'm sure she'll make an appearance a little bit later on.
Yeah, I want to sit on the back of your chair.
So as we were saying before we just hopped on, I've been playing a lot of Pokemon lately, which is kind of funny because everybody's like, really? Backsmasher? Pokemon? What the fuck?
Yeah, you're a grown man, Smasher.
Yeah,
But
they're
to
like-
that I say, you have no heart. You have no soul.
So my kid, like, I hooked his Game Boy up to the internet, which was like the best thing for him. So all of a sudden he's like trading with people in Japan, and he's loving it, absolutely fucking loving it. So today he gave me a level 1 Pikachu.
A level 1 Pikachu.
A level 1 Pikachu. I'm like, thank you very much. He's like, well, you know, he's like, you're gonna have to train it up, and you know, I'm like, dude, I'm just gonna throw it in with my party, and you know, I've got the frickin', you know, share XP stone with me, so it'll just share everything the whole time. He's like, okay.
I've heard people do like really cool stuff with that, but most of the time it's got to be something rubbish, like an oddish, right? It's got to be something crappish like that. Just so everybody knows, we're really, well, me and Smash anyway are really hardcore Pokemon fans. We may get a little nerdy up in here.
Yep.
And if anyone doesn't like it, green laser up in this bitch.
So it's funny because, like, you know, I just threw it into the party just for shits and giggles, and I'm like walking around fucking battling people and shit. And the first one right off the bat, because I'm already going against like level 40 Pokemon and shit, it grew to a level 15.
Damn!
Wow.
Yeah, dude. I was like, holy shit! I'm sitting there like I'm having to hit the A button because it's like Pikachu went.
Pop, 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 pop,
It's like
pop.
Pikachu grew to level 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, wants to learn this move. Crap. And I'm like, son of a bitch. 20 minutes later, after I taught it 4 new freaking moves, pretty much, I'm like, dear God.
If anybody's watching, I was telling Smasher about the Nuzlocke challenge. If you've heard of that, it's where you play Pokemon, and anytime your Pokemon faints, you have to act as if the Pokemon is dead. It's a really interesting way to play Pokemon, because like you really start to build an emotional relationship with your Pokemon. Like he's going, no, he's on 1 HP, please, and then you like switch him out for another one and sacrifice that one. And you have to like release it into the wild.
Dude, I'm definitely gonna do that when I'm done this. Like now that you told me about that, I can't fucking wait. I'm gonna be like, oh hell yeah, because it gives you a different way of thinking about how you actually want to fucking go about, you know, everything with your Pokemon.
Exactly.
It's funny. There's also this game on here. It's called like Face Raiders, and you take a picture of yourself, and then all of a sudden it puts it on a little balloon, and you have to like hit it with like tennis balls, and it uses the camera, but you have to move around and do it and shit.
Ah, I see.
But there's a warning at the beginning. It's like pay attention to your surroundings at all times.
I was gonna say somebody needs to record you, and then you'd be one of the kill videos where like somebody's like you're playing around like that and knock your kid out, just or knock a dog out.
Yeah, I can see it now. He's sitting there, he's doing this. All of a sudden, his youngest comes up behind him. Dad, what?
And you know what's funny? Because kids,
Never mind.
if they're like really young, they have no understanding of what a DS is. To them, it just looks like, you know, they've come up to you like, Dada, I wanna say hi to you, and then you've picked up like a red brick and then just like smacked him around the face. And anytime you pick it up again, the kid's just traumatized, like, no, Dada, no.
The irony, my freaking DS is red.
Yes.
Nice.
It's nice too, dude.
Section, if you've ever beat your child with a games console, Wii remotes are accepted.
I think it's funny, like, dude, there was a website called wegotissues.com or .org or whatever when the Wii first came out.
Okay.
It was spelled W-I-I, and it was all the people that were smashing their TVs with the fucking Wii remotes and shit like that. I couldn't stop laughing. I remember it was, it cracked me up that Nintendo was like, okay, we need to give you guys straps now, so that thing doesn't go flying off.
Dude, I'm imagining, because like everything has to be product tested, right?
Mm-hmm.
How many times did they smash things, like smash TVs in product testing?
I know.
For them to realize, okay, maybe this wasn't a good idea. We need to put something like a metal chain to this person's hand so it doesn't come off, because it's still happening.
I remember they the one VFW I used to go to actually had it. They had the projection screen and had the Wii set up to it. And they're like, look, if you guys are going to play Wii bowling or anything of that sort, make sure you strap it to your wrist. We want it strapped to your wrist at all times. I was like, okay. And they got the new straps and everything else, and they had like a custom grip on it. It was pretty cool, like, because we would just do bowling. That's all we ever did. And it was hilarious because like the bartender would
bowling. Bowling was the shit.
Oh hell yeah, dude.
Oh yeah.
And they had that one competition where like it started off with like 10 pins and then went 20 pins, 30 pins, worked its way all the way up to 100.
That was the best because it just ended up being like 100 pins. You were like, no, come on.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
My brother's got the Wii, and me and his kids would, just start doing that bowling thing and see who could get the most pins.
It was a blast. Like we did that. We did darts, baseball, shit like that. We always had fun with that. Like doing tennis was absolutely hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
You know what I liked the most? I bought 2 games. One of them was Warrior Moves, if you ever played that, and Sonic and Hedgehog's Olympics.
Mm-hmm.
Those were 2 good games on them. Yeah. Ah, the Wii.
Let's see.
I might break out the Wii.
Yeah.
How's it? I mean, I've heard everyone says jokes about the Wii U being unsuccessful, but is it really unsuccessful? Like, no one's really gonna touch it ever again, or?
I've got a few people that bought it, dude. They actually like it. Yeah, like they said it's really not that bad. I said, well, I think Nintendo's biggest problem was the fact that they turned the Wii U into like, a handheld. Like they wanted to get the handheld aspect along with the controller, and I'm just like, I think that's a bit much. Like the Wii was a genius thing. The Wii was what got Nintendo out of the fucking basement. You think about it. I mean, I remember E3 when they showed Sony with their freaking stupid wand thing. They're like, we can raise a ship and we can lower a ship.
Yeah.
And then Nintendo's like, look what we can do. We're playing tennis. We're playing, we're bowling. We're doing this. And all of a sudden it was like, holy shit, Nintendo just freaking like, because they're like, the GameCube. You think about it. They went from a cartridge game. They're like, we're going to come out with discs, but we're going to make our discs this big.
Yeah, they made them really tiny.
And you're like, what the fuck is that? And it's funny on how, like, this is what still cracks me up. So I'm playing a game that's a cartridge-based game, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm already 27 hours into Pokemon. That's just, that's not multiplayer. That's just, the game itself. You find another game that's on console that's 27 hours long for a campaign.
Yeah.
Seriously, nobody fucking does that shit. Nintendo comes up with these hours on end.
The only one that I can say is I've just bought Assassin's Creed, and I'm only into the 2nd fucking mission, and I've played hours and hours into that thing. But that's only because they've made it so, like, because it's a pirate-based game, I don't know if you know the story with it.
Yeah.
You're going along the sea, and there's so much shit along the way, like, you'll just drive into a simple waypoint. You're like, okay, I'm going to go to that thing over there. You're going straight, and it's like, oh, you can harpoon a whale over here. Oh, you could pick up this straggler over here. Oh, you could destroy that boat over there. And I'm like, I want to do all of these things. And I end up just like going off to the side, doing that, and then it takes like 4 hours for me to get to one point.
And this is not a new headset, by the way. This is old. I've had these for fucking like 6 years now. I'm just
trying to pretend you were rich and you got that YouTube money.
Nah, I'm just using these because, ironically enough, from the medicine that I'm using, it's called Erbitux, by the way, is the chemo med that is causing my face to break out in pimples everywhere. Thank God I don't have a high def camera. Can't fucking see them. I've got them on. I've got them on my. Yeah. And like I've got them on my scalp, dude. It's bad. Like it's really fucking bad. I've got them on my scalp, and they've all fucking broken open, and it feels like 1,000 fucking little cuts on my on my head when I take a shower, dude. It sucks.
So you know what? We could take a fine tip black marker and just start connecting the dots on your face, and we could say, hey, it's a Hawaiian tribal warrior tattoo.
Basically, Smasher, Zippity Zoom is saying that his sister's got a DS, and she's 9 years old. So basically, what we're saying is that you're a 9-year-old girl.
It's okay. You know, my son's 13 and he's got the freaking tablet. My daughter, dude, it's funny. This Christmas was absolutely hilarious, by the way. Like, I think I brought the kids finally into, like, you know, this fucking century with technology. So, my daughter got an iPod.
Mm-hmm.
Then the baby got a tablet. I got my DS. Yes, the baby got a tablet. It's
okay.
the Innotech freaking 3S tablet. It teaches her a whole bunch of stuff. It's not like a regular. It's not like.
Okay.
So it's all based off of learning, but you know it's got like a 6-inch screen on it, and it's pretty fucking awesome to be honest with you. Got like a bunch of games for it. Came with like 20 apps built into it, and then we got her like 6 games for it and shit. Then you know my youngest son has his freaking DS, and then my oldest got his 2DS. And we're sitting around like in the living room the other day. Everybody is on some sort of electronic device in the living room.
Just as a family should,
Just
right?
as it, well, yeah. When we're watching TV, everybody's like, my daughter's got her headphones on with her iPod, and she's like, like I haven't seen her this whole Christmas break. This has been the best Christmas break ever. I should have fucking done this shit last year. So then here's the kicker. So it was Thursday. We go out, and that's the kids got money for Christmas. The oldest had a GameStop gift card, and I had money. So I'm like, let's go to GameStop. They're like, oh, we want to get some games. I'm like, all right, well, we'll go to GameStop so you guys can get your games and shit, and we'll go do that. They're like, all right, cool. So I go into 7-Eleven to pay for gas, and my wife is yapping on the fucking cell phone as she's pumping the gas.
As she's pumping the gas?
Yes, with that big fucking sticker that says, stay off your cell phone.
Yeah. So I mean, it's really small chance, but why would you risk it?
Yeah. So I yell at him, like, yo, dumbass, get off the fucking phone. So what does she do? Instead of putting the phone in the car, she puts the phone on top of the car.
Oh.
Pumps gas, forgets about it, hops back in the fucking car.
Oh, no.
And then we go driving off. So at that point, we've gone all over the fucking place, And I've called her phone 3 times, and I'm like, dude, where the fuck is your phone? Check your fucking Coach purse. Look in that shit. She's got a Coach purse galore. That's her thing, Coach purses. She bought.
Yeah, our wives will get along very, very well.
Yep, she gets along great with my sister too, who's got like 9 of them. My wife's got 3 Coach purses. I don't even want to say how.
Shoe go.
Let me just put it to you this way, Eddie. When each purse is close to $600.
Oof. Yeah.
All I'm going to say is, thank God there is a Coach outlet down here. Because she got her purse. Her purse was $600 retail. Her wallet was $155 retail, and her makeup bag was $250 retail. Makeup, all the makeup.
Sorry, yeah. I'm just thinking that I think I'd have to kill her. Yeah. If she ever asked me something, I think I'd have to kill her.
now get this, at the Coach outlet.
Yeah.
Usually you can't find the makeup bag, the purse, and the wallet all to match the same pattern.
Okay.
She has them all in the same pattern and got it for $300 total.
Ah.
Now
that is a big saving, but I wouldn't pay $700.
Yeah, that's her thing, I'm like, whatever. She's got like 2 other Coach purses. She gave one to my mom. She's like, here, have this. And my mom's like, oh, like freaking out, loves it. So I'm like, all right, whatever, So she fucking...
Wrong button.
Way to go. So she thought she had it in her purse. She's looking through it. She can't fucking find it. So, the day's going on, and she starts freaking the fuck out. I'm trying to think where everything went, where she put it last. And I'm in the house, and we're about to go back out to GameStop because the one GameStop didn't have the DS. And ironically enough, my power-up rewards I could actually use them this time. There was $25 off a pre-owned or refurbished 3DS. I was like, sweet, well, I'll use that. Hell yeah, Printed that out, and all of a sudden I'm like, you know what, dear? You were last on your phone at the fucking gas station.
At the gas station, yeah.
And she's like, oh my God, I put it on top of the car. I'm like, well, what the fuck are you waiting for? Why are you standing here? Go. So she goes out, can't fucking find it anywhere. And I'm like, fuck, dude, son of a bitch.
If you found out, I would have been surprised.
Yeah, same here. I mean, that was like it was probably like 3 hours before that. So I'm like, there's no way she's gonna find it because it was going right to voicemail when I started calling. So somebody fucking pulled the SIM card out of that bitch and threw it,
Yeah.
So she.
I mean, if there's some glimmer of, I mean, it's not really a glimmer of hope, but maybe like if it managed to stay on the roof for a little bit, it could have like gone into the road and somebody ran it over, maybe.
Yeah, well, it had a gel skin on it, so I mean, it wouldn't surprise. It did grip, so I mean, if it did, it's probably on the highway somewhere. It is what it is. So
Zippity Zoom says he wants a Coach Up purse as well.
Coach Up purse?
It says Coach Up purse. I'm presuming that's something. I know that you're more informed about these purses because you're more of a purse man. So you can tell me whether this is.
I have no clue.
Many purses in your time.
I have no clue what a Coach Up purse is, but okay.
And Just Infamous says, "Hey dudes,
what up?" So, my wife ends up having to go to fucking. We have ours through Metro PCS, and we didn't have like nice phones. We downgraded our shit really fucking badly at one point. So instantly, she's like, "Well, I wanted to get a new smartphone." I'm like, "Well, fucking do it." She's like, really? I'm like, I don't care. If we got the money, fucking go ahead. So she goes to Metro PCS and instantly fucking, got herself a new fucking phone. So that day, everybody had a new electronic device in their fucking hand. On the couch watching TV. And she's sitting there like taking pictures of everybody and shit because the kids, there's an app on the kids' tab on their iPods that they can text her.
Yeah. I've sort of iMessage and stuff like that, isn't it? All over the internet and whatnot.
Hell no. Smasher will never rock a Merce. Fuck that noise. My wife tried and
canvas bag?
Yeah, she tried to get me one of those canvas bags. I was like, yo, no, that's a little gay. No. She's like, why not? I'm like, sorry, not happening, sweetheart. So, that day was just funny because like everybody's sitting in the living room. Nobody's talking at all. And everybody's on their fucking tablets and shit. I know, like, we're texting each other back and forth. And my daughter has, like, I connected her tablet to my computer, downloaded all the software, and she's got a picture thing on there where she can send me fucking picture messages from her little tablet.
Was it some not safe for work pictures? Or?
No. It's just from my daughter's tablet. Like, we're talking the 3-year-old.
Oh, sorry, I thought you said from your wife. Sorry about that.
No. The 3-year-old's got the fucking goofy little tablet shit. It's fucking hilarious. I'm like, what the fuck?
So let's talk about the topics we've covered so far is Pokemon and purses and the electronic equipment, like your wife leaving her phone on top of the car while you leave a gas station. Mm-hmm. So far, we're on a roll.
Yeah.
I have a weird ass. Can I tell you about this dream that I had? It was really fucked up.
By all means,
go for it.
You guys can try and make sense of it. Basically, we have a lot of people come around to our house for Christmas, right? And I'm sure everybody does. Right. The big time. And I had this dream that everybody came round. And we didn't have enough space inside the house that we had to, and check this out, we had to go under the house. Right? Now, imagine like your house is on a big foundation, and the foundations are sort of exposed, like it's a big concrete bottom, yeah? Mm-hmm. And then underneath it, there's like a gap that's probably about maybe 2-3 feet tall.
All right.
And it's sort of like a tube that goes in, and then it spreads out all underneath the house. So it's a pretty shitty foundation because the whole of the underneath the house is completely hollow. But it's only 3 foot tall. That's all it is. And for some reason, we decided to have our Christmas dinner there. And I'm really claustrophobic, so I started to really panic in my dream. But I don't understand what the fuck was going on. And at the time, I was like, you know what? This is a little cramped in here. Yeah, I don't know. Like, we decided not inside the house, we're going to put it in here. And I'm talking like 30 people inside this crap, and we're all like laying down next to each other. I didn't understand it whatsoever. Have you guys ever had fucked up dreams like that?
Yeah, I have like a dream journal next to my bed for when I wake up.
Do you know what? People say to me, keep a dream journal, and I've only really got my phone, so when I got up, I immediately wrote into my phone. But, yeah, Do you write down some interesting stuff?
Yeah, I've got some really fucked up dreams, dude. Certain, like when I was, when I quit smoking the first time, obviously it didn't work, but I was taking Chantix, and Chantix gives you these really fucked up dreams. And dude, it was just wacky shit. Like, I mean, we're talking gory stuff too, like watching people's heads get chopped off, blood fucking spilling, and I'm just like, wow. And the funny thing is, like, it actually helped me write an album.
Really?
Like, yeah, we were just about to go into the studio, and all the guys, and it's funny how I do this, like, I was told I'm a prick for this. I wait for all of them to fucking come up with the music, and then I'll listen to each song that we have, and then start writing and go into that. So, like, in the studio, I would actually write, like, I wouldn't have lyrics until I'd go into the studio and start writing and shit, listening to stuff. And
it's all about when inspiration hits you. It's not like you can plan it.
Because they're like, well, why don't you start? And I'm like, dude, I have to hear everything mixed together. And, like, you know, I'd be at practices and be listening and be like, all right, cool, all right. And they're like, do you have anything yet? I'm like, no. And then I start having these really fucked up dreams. And that's when I start, I'm like, oh, hell yeah. I'm like, sweet. Like, one of them was like an apocalyptic fucking dream. And I was like, okay, sweet. We started fucking just writing. And I sat there for like 9.5 hours the one night, the first night of the studio work. And they were, you know, they were practicing. And I'm like, all right. And they're like, do you have anything? I'm like, yeah, I think I'm done. And they're like, hold on, you've got 15 songs worth? And I'm like, yeah. Like, what They're like, what the hell happened? They're like, you passed out for 3 hours, and you wake up, and I'm like, dude, you wouldn't believe the fucking dream I just fucking had.
All that shit done.
And they're like, are you serious? I'm like, yeah, I'm done. And, like, you know, one of the songs, it was called Cyanide Nightmares. That was actually the name of our band as well.
Nice.
And, you know, like, one of the fucking, like, the catch hook to the one song was, it was sarin gas, plagues, and razor blade hand grenades. These are the things that I see when I sleep. What starts in my dreams, ends in your nightmares, and now you shall sow what we fucking reap. And they're like,
wow.
They're like,
lyrics.
They're like, what the fuck? I'm like, yeah, like, the opening line was apocalyptic, God's damnation, resurrection is salvation. Tears of blood rain from the sky, scenes of plagues assault my eyes. They're like, where the fuck are you coming up with this shit? And I'm like, dude, just let it go. Just let me fucking go. And I recorded that whole album in like 9 hours when they got done doing all their shit. And they were like, that's the quickest we've ever seen you write. And they're like, what are you doing? I'm like, Chantix? Like, what? I'm like, had some fucked up dreams. They're like, that's fucked up. Like, I watch horror movies and I get fucking ideas for shit. And I'm just like, all right, cool. And a lot of my lyrics are really... Like, I'll never be able to write a happy-go-lucky song, ever. You know, like, ever. Ever. Nothing like, you know, I had a girlfriend that asked me to try to write a love song, and I ended up killing her in the song.
that was awkward when she heard it, right?
Yeah, like, she was just like, wow, thanks, asshole. I was like, you want to? I was like, what?
Zippity Zoom just talking about his dream. He goes, I've been having a lot of dreams where my friends and family somehow get killed, or I get killed. I had a version of Columbine. What's that?
It's a city in
Colorado.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Colorado.
Remember the high school shooting about 10 years ago back?
No, I don't.
There was a thing called
ring a bell.
headphones. A thing called the Trenchcoat Mafia is what they were calling themselves. 2 kids that used to go bowling every fucking day in the morning. They went to a Columbine high school and they ended up shooting like 30-some people.
Yeah. And he goes, in the dream bit, not even fucking kidding, Wings of Redemption came with a gun. Wings came with a gun, and I, with my sister, stabbed him and creeped him out.
Oh,
God.
Oh, it'd be funny you should bring up Snapchat. One of the topics I've got is a guy who wrote a blog on why you should delete Snapchat.
Oh, why?
Oh, yeah.
It seems so great. So many women send pictures of boobies, and then it gets shared on the internet.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the whole premise behind Snapchat, it was geared towards teenage girls.
Oh yeah.
And it was originally called Peekaboo. program was originally called.
That sounds way too polished, doesn't it?
Yeah. Well, the program was made up by a couple of guys who went to Stanford. That their fraternity was kicked out by Stanford. So yeah, and the whole original premise behind the program was a safe way for sexting.
See, I could see that, yeah.
Yeah.
See, if only it did just stay in university and college and stuff like that, it would be cool. But you know that there are some underage girls and boys that do stupid shit like that, and that's when it's not cool. I mean, yeah, it's just giving the kids. Like, I know somebody who's quite young, and I heard that they had done something bad. It's not anybody that I know personally, but I know from their family. Like, I'd overheard a conversation that she apparently sent nude pictures, and she was really, really young, nude pictures to another boy, and then that boy basically spreaded it throughout the school. And this is just another way to facilitate that, isn't it? It's not.
Yeah, pretty much.
But when it's in university and college, fuck yeah! I see them bitches' movies, don't worry about it.
Yeah. Well, and the guy also went through Snapchat's terms of service agreement, and basically it was everything that they're marketing is totally false. Their terms of service agreement says the exact opposite. And basically, one thing said that you come across is Snapchat is funded with venture capital money, lots of it. So the goal of Snapchat is to sell it for a lot of money, including all the data. Meaning you have zero control where your private images will one day end up.
That's pretty stupid.
Yeah, it says, check out this little gem on their privacy policy. Sharing of information. We may share information about you as follows or as otherwise described in this privacy policy in connection with or during negotiations of any merger, sale, or of company assets, financing or acquisition of all and or a portion of our business to another company. What does that mean? That means your private pictures are ultimately for sale, and you've given them permission to sell them.
That was like that whole Instagram phase where they were like selling photos and whatnot.
Yeah.
Fuck. Zippity Zappy Zoom brings up an interesting point that you guys might want to talk about. He goes, I think it's stupid that if you sext an underage person, boy or girl, you're labeled a sex offender for the whole of your life. And some cases, you have to sort of be very specific about it. Say, like, if you're young and they're young, or if you're maybe 18 and then this person's 17, in the UK that would be, or no, is it 17 and 16, or one of them ones, where they're like just a year under, and then and you're a year over the sexual consent limit. And if you send a naked picture somewhere, or you receive one without even asking for it, something like, you could be labeled a sex offender for the whole of your life. And it's a little bit.
Yeah, because
there's just no way to get out of it. You just can't. There's nothing you can do.
Yeah, well, here's one for you. If you go streaking, and somebody underage sees that, and you get arrested for it, you're nailed as a sex offender, dude.
That's so
well, here in Michigan, 16 is the minimum age for legal consent for sexual intercourse. But yet the parents still can go after the person for statutory rape.
What? If it's consensual, then it's consensual. There's no.
Yeah. Even if it is consensual, the person is, still under the age of 18, living at their parents' house. They're still considered a minor, even though they legally can give consent. The parents can still have the person charged with statutory rape.
So Zip Zappity Zoom says, well, whoever buys Snapchat can see me drawing dicks on my face and making goofy-ass faces.
Well, Snapchat's free.
I'll tell you what, no, I think he means, when you said it's a venture company where they're eventually going to buy it. Yeah.
Whoever buys Snapchat. Gotcha, okay.
I think what we need to do, we need to get the statistics, and we can probably guess some statistics here, now what percentage it is, of women that claim they've been raped when their husbands come back from, say, like Iraq or something like that, when they come back from the military. because I've heard so many stories, and I've mentioned about 2 or 3 of them. After the third one on my channel, sorry, I've mentioned 2 of them. After the third one, I was like, I can't keep reporting on women every day lying to their husbands who come back from Iraq saying, "Oh, this man raped me, that's why I'm pregnant now."
Yeah.
That sort of stuff. I'm just like...
I know a lot of guys that, their wives and like ended up cheating on them and pulled some bullshit.
What?
And it's pretty much, it's like, you know what, dude, really, you were a whore. You fucking slept around.
It's nice to want that person when you come back and whatnot, and like, to have your wife waiting for you there, but it's just not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. It's too long. She has needs. There's no point in just making it. I mean, if you have children involved, then it's a little bit more like, bitch, you have a right to do this. This is your thing. You have to stay by me.
Okay, so I got a weird story for you today.
Go on.
Did you hear about Andrew Frey?
Andrew Frey, what happened to him?
Yes, okay. A man who was allegedly high on methamphetamine reportedly fought off more than a dozen police officers while publicly masturbating. Andrew Frey apparently made a series of outbursts, then began masturbating in an Oregon restaurant. Incredibly, the police were reported unable to subdue Frey with a taser. It took 15 officers to finally take him into custody and stop pleasuring himself.
I've got 2 very, very important questions. Very important. What restaurant was it?
I have no clue, but it was in Oregon, dude.
And the second one, when they tased him, did that help him?
I don't know, but I wonder. I almost wonder if it did.
Did he come faster?
Frey reportedly told authorities he took methamphetamines and couldn't remember the obscene incident, according to the Marion County Sheriff's Office.
Wow.
I can see now they're tasing him, and one officer's going to be like, "Look out, he's going to fire!"
He's got a loaded gun.
Get the riot shield. Get the riot shield.
It's in my eye. Oh, man down, man down. Officer down, officer down.
I've been creamed.
Stay back or I'm going to shoot. Hits him with a taser. Sorry.
He appears to be firing us with hot liquid.
Oh, yeah.
What's this? It's salty.
Just imagine they tased him while he still had his hand wrapped around it.
Oh, God.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. Oh, God.
Gets the extra kung fu grip going on.
Yep.
Fucking shoots a cop in the eye. Now, is that, assault on a... Is that considered... Yeah, I was going to say, if he shot him in the eye, is that, Now, how bad is that? You're going to the hospital. What's the matter? I have a foreign object in my eye. What is it? Well, you see, we were at a restaurant today, and we had to subdue a man that was publicly masturbating. We hit him with the taser, and he shot it in my eye.
And he shot semen in my eye. Yeah. True story.
Could you imagine being the superior officer on that one, writing up the fucking workman's comp claim on that one?
Do you get some sort of medal for that? Like, if you get shot when you're a cop, you get a medal, right? If you get shot with some jizz, do you get a medal?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, God damn, dude.
Oh, jeez.
We'll see if it was in the military, it would be a Purple
You get a
Heart.
Purple Heart.
I was thinking to say Purple Heart, but that's military.
Yeah, that's military.
Oh, boy.
God. Oh, how... That's just wrong. I saw that today, dude, and was like, these guys are going to love this one. I started...
Sorry, go on.
No, go ahead.
Zephany Zoom was saying that he hopes that was on a security camera or something like that. That would be awesome.
That would be hilarious.
Yeah.
It'd have to be on somewhere like Live Leak or World Star Hip Hop or something like that.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be on YouTube.
Dude, for that to fucking happen, though, like, that's really just... Goddamn, dude. Like, when I read that, I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna die. I was like, they're gonna fucking die laughing at this one. Because I gave Cobe the responsibility of finding, stories for now, because it was funny, because he came up with something on Friday, and I figured the more we can get Cobe interactive and start talking, it'd be wonderful. So I figured, fuck it, we'll make Cobe get, stories and shit. And then of course, I'm looking too, just for shits and giggles, and, I started looking up, like, the weird web stories and shit like that. And that was the first thing that came up, and I'm like, that is fucking gold. I don't care what anybody says, that's fucking gold.
Yeah, that is gold.
And I tell my wife, and my wife's looking, and she's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? I'm like, you're telling me that's not funny. Obviously, dick and fart jokes is not her thing.
she's just not that cool.
Dude, it's so funny. Like, we are polar opposites when it comes to certain things. And, like, you know, movies and shit, complete fucking polar opposites of what we watch. Like, she loves the Twilight series, and I'm like trying to find a good horror movie. Yeah.
Oh, dude, I was forced to watch like many guys, forced to watch the Twilight movies, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if you know about this, but there's this app on the phone, it's something called Quiz Up. It's sort of like it's a quiz that you can do with anybody in the world. It randomly finds somebody, or you can challenge somebody on your Facebook, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
And my girlfriend's playing it, and every now and again she tells me to challenge her at a game, and she sends me a request, and I play her. Sometimes she does stuff like PlayStation games, or sometimes she does like biology, which I'm into. But then one time she did Twilight, and I was like, I'm gonna fail this completely. I actually beat her. Because of all the times that she's forced me to watch it, and I was like, "Oh God, I know more than she does."
Yeah, dude, I feel your pain though, man. I mean, my wife had me watch every single Twilight movie, and I'm just like, she owns them all on DVD, you know, and I'm just like, thank God that series is over. That's all I could say, like on the last one. And I will say, honestly, the last fight scene was pretty badass.
Yeah, it was quite a big fight scene, and everyone was like, It was kind of pissed though that it didn't. Well, I'm not gonna spoiler alert. It's kind of pissed though that it didn't really happen. No, they didn't really
it was pretty cool though. Like I was like, all right, I can deal with this. Jesus Christ!
Sorry, that was a side door. Aaron just got on.
Hi, Aaron.
I actually went to watch Hobbit: The Desolation of Smoke today.
Yeah, how was that?
Yeah, how was that?
I really liked it. People, there was one friend of mine who said he didn't like it, and I was like, I didn't understand why, because it was a perfectly good film. There was loads of fight scenes, which I really love. The CGIs were great. The acting was great. There was never a moment that I wasn't immersed in it. Obviously, it was a bit long, and to be in a foreign environment where you want to go to the toilet and you can't pause it, it was a little bit annoying. But yeah, it was good.
Yeah, they did a thing up in Toronto, dude, at one point where it was all 3 Lord of the Rings extended movies.
Oh, yeah.
Like
I watched them all before.
It was a 3-day event, pretty much. Like it was like a little festival type deal. But they actually broke it down to like halfway through the first one, they gave like a 15-minute intermission, so everybody could go to the bathroom, resupply on snacks, and then come back to it and watch it again, and keep doing it. And they did every movie back to back. But it was
back to back.
Yeah, dude. Like it was all 3 movies in a row, like all 4 hours of each movie in a row.
You see, I made the mistake of watching them as well, like the Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit, and I downloaded the extended versions as well, so they were like the longest ones in the world. So painful.
My buddy was like, dude, he's like, he went to it, he's like, it was awesome. I was like, okay, but every hour they did an intermission so we could get up, go to the bathroom.
Oh, thank fuck.
He's like, dude, I was praying they were going to do something like that. He's like, dude, it's great you'd be able to watch it, because it was on like IMAX screens.
Oh, wow.
So, like, when they were done, like, they would stop. They're like, okay, we're doing our first intermission. Everybody can get up, go to the bathroom, do their thing, get more refreshments, and then come back and sit down. And he was like, dude, it was a fucking blast to do it. He's like, and I'm so happy they did it that way, because at least, like, when everybody first sat down, he's like, you're drinking your soda, this or that. He's like, you got to take a leak. And they're like, he's thinking, oh, crap, I've got 4 hours of this fucking one movie? Oh, God, this is going to suck. He's like, I gotta pee, but they broke it down that way. He's like, dude,
thank God they broke that down.
Yeah, and then like they did a meal in between each movie too, so like
standard.
So it was like the first movie was done, and then he did like a meal break where it was like a 2-hour break in between, and then go back and
that way, isn't it?
Yeah, it was really cool too, because like the way he said it was done up, like the place they went to, it was a higher class kind of like he paid $200 to go to this thing.
Wow.
But the meals were
$200.
$200. It was like a whole weekend thing, but the meals were included as well. and like you got a meal with each movie, like at the end of each movie and shit like that. So like, and it was like,
yeah, it's an experience as well. Like other people that are fans of the films and whatnot.
And it was nice because like you got like a nice dinner. It wasn't like it was like steak and potatoes type shit, you know.
Hmm.
Oh, wow.
It wasn't just. It was like surf and turf and stuff like that. Like it wasn't like microwaved hamburger and like oven fries.
I would be extremely pissed. It's like, yeah, we got some oven chicken and some oven fries, please.
Yeah, here's your fish. Here's your fish and chips.
You wanna? Hey, fish and chips are awesome.
Hell yeah, they are. No, dude, I'm telling you. Okay, so I've been watching.
Especially if it's done properly.
Yes, there is a place in. I just got done watching it tonight in the Carolinas. Or no, it's out in California. The dude's actually from Liverpool, and he does fish and chips. Like,
I see. Yeah.
He does it properly, like the proper fish and chips. And I'm like, I think I'm just gonna go out to Cali, just fucking try that, just for shits and giggles. Because I've been to London before, and I've gotten fish and chips over there, and fucking absolutely loved it. Yeah. And you can't find that kind of experience over here. It's just like, fuck, I wish we could.
Yeah, I'm sure like there are some good places, but it's not the same, is it?
No, it's not. It really isn't. Certainly, like, and that's the thing I love. Like, my wife and I were talking. I was like, look, I said, barring I beat this cancer thing, she's like, okay. I'm like, we get old. I said, I just want to fucking retire with an RV and just like travel the fucking United States and just hit certain restaurants and fucking check them out and shit.
Yeah, dude, my friend, he went for a month to America, and he went from somewhere like, it was the East Coast somewhere. It was just all sort of down the edge there, all down the side, and he ended up, I'm not sure, I think he said it was Texas somewhere he went. I'm not so sure. But anyway, he went through loads of restaurants, like rib joints, wings places, and stuff like that, and it was like, he goes, oh, the food was just epic. When you find like a dedicated place to ribs, or you find a dedicated place for wings, it's just the best. And I was like, oh. And I'm a big wings fan and a big ribs fan, so I was like, oh.
There's a place in Delaware called Cluck U University.
Cluck U.
Yes.
That's epic.
And that's all they do is wings, and they have, your mild, medium, hot, and then they have
barbecue and whatnot.
Barbecue, honey barbecue, fucking teriyaki, fucking numerous. Like,
they have my kind of place.
They have 50 different styles of wings, and then they have like the atomic, the nuclear, the thermonuclear, where like
good.
Oh, dude. And I will say, like, the nuclears were the thermonuclear wings there were awesome. I mean,
just a little bit of a tingle.
It has the fucking, the ghost chilies in it.
Oof.
And there's a competition, dude, that if you can eat...
Who could eat two?
If you can eat 6 of them, it's just 6.
Oh, 6. That's not even a lot as well.
And but these wings, dude, are like, okay, they're like that big.
Oh.
We're talking like,
like your thumb, basically,
Yeah, like it's pretty much, like, you look at it like that much of a wing on your fucking, like, it's a 4-inch long fucking wing, drum and the other piece too. Like, they're not connected, they're separate.
Okay.
And, he tosses them in it and then pours the fucking remainder sauce all over the fucking wings.
It's like, motherfucker, I'm gonna die from these wings anyway. You pour that shit on it?
Yep. And then they hand you gloves and they're like, look, there's a glass of milk, but you have to wait 5 minutes after you've gotten done eating for the challenge to be over. Then you can drink your glass of milk.
I think the guy from Man vs. Food did that challenge.
That was the one in New York he did.
Oh, okay.
This place, dude, holy hell, man. I will say, we did it. I have a t-shirt somewhere laying around, but dude...
You wouldn't want to do it again.
I can tell you now, the way my stomach is, there's no way I'd ever be able to do it. Ever.
Dude,
yeah. I mean,
I think without... you're a bro, and I think we can take this. But I think we know how your cancer got there.
Yeah.
I think we found the root of the problem.
I honestly think, like, a lot of the shit I ate is probably why I've got cancer. It's like, really? I didn't eat the healthiest. But, dude, the wings, dude, are honestly, they're by far, like, just some of the, just some of the fucking flavors. Like, he's got, like, the Caribbean jerk wings. I
like jerk chicken.
Jerk, yeah, dude. It's got, like, He deep fries them, and then they come out, and then he puts like a jerk rub on them and throws them in the oven for like 10, 15 minutes. So it's got that like coating on it, and it comes with like a teriyaki pineapple sauce with it too.
Why you gotta make me hungry before I go
I know.
to sleep?
I'm not gonna lie, dude. I'm fucking starving right now. I'm like, dude, that sounds really, really good.
We don't have like wings joints out here, man. We only have like normal restaurants that maybe have wings in them.
That's when you
Even
start.
they're like microwaved. That's not even that.
That's when you just go to the store and buy yourself chicken wings.
Yeah, dude, I've done that a couple of times where I put like hot sauce on there, put them in the fridge. But you know, like how you have to marinate it like a day in advance.
Your best bet is not to marinate the wing at all.
Really?
Yeah, your smartest best bet is to honestly, with the wing, just fucking. Easiest way to do it is cook them 3/4 of the way. So you throw them in the oven.
Okay.
You cook them for about like 30 minutes at 350 degrees. Pull them out because this way it doesn't. With your oil, it takes longer for the wings to cook when they're raw. So you do it that way, and then you drop them into the oil at 350 degrees. Takes about 6 minutes.
Is this like deep oil or shallow?
You can even do shallow oil and just turn them.
Okay.
So so you're not like you can do it either way, and then pull them out. And then immediately get them into a bowl or whatever, put the sauce on it, and then eat them then. And if you want to make your own sauces, you can make your own sauces. That's the thing I do. I make my own sauces all from fucking scratch. My wife looks at me like...
Damn, I need some Smasher sauce.
And it's funny. She's like, dude, like I make a honey barbecue sauce that never tastes the same way twice because it's just like potluck.
Yeah, every now and again you put a little bit more of something, right?
Yeah, and she's like, I swear to God, she's like, you come up with these most amazing sauces, and I have them bottled in the house. So like when it runs out, she's like, you got to make more. I'm like, all right, no problem. And
I wonder, what's the quarantine risks on that? Do you reckon they'd be able? You could send me one, and it would get to me sometime this year, or they'd keep it and be like, sorry, this is way too dangerous. Sorry.
But it's funny because I use serrano peppers and jalapenos, and I don't really go too high. Like I will do a habanero occasionally, but I try. Like I want heat, but I don't want to burn the shit out of my mouth.
Yeah, you want to enjoy it as well, right?
Yeah, I want to be able to enjoy my wings, have a nice little heat to it. But my my barbecues are all cooked with Jack Daniels in them too.
Oh hell yeah!
So and my wife looks at me and she's like, "What the hell are you doing?" So it's like in a pot, I'll just throw in like brown sugar, tomato paste, apple cider vinegar, and then a cup of frickin' Jack Daniels, and then it's just like spices to taste. It's all taste and everything else. So like cook everything else up and this and that, let it reduce, and then just dip my finger in. I'm like, okay, now I gotta need salt, pepper, whatever the hell is near me at that time, and just start doing that. And she looks at me and she's like, God damn. And then add honey to it and everything else. And she's like, this is freaking phenomenal. She's like, where did you learn how to do this? I'm like, I'm a fat kid that got bored.
Yeah.
I'm like, I hated I just don't like buying barbecue sauce from the stores that are just crap. Some of them are really crappy.
They're so subpar, aren't they? They're just, some of them aren't even barbecue sauce. Like, I had one time from my local store, and I should have known from the label it was just rubbish. It was just, it was basically like a store-branded one, and so terrible.
Some of the stuff tastes like a watered-down ketchup.
Oh, so bad.
And you're like,
this one, I know you're supposed to put a little bit of vinegar in in barbecue sauce. This one felt like it was all vinegar, and I was like, it was just so bad.
Yeah, that's the bitch about it. Like trying to find that right happy medium for everything.
I think you need to make me some and send me some. That's the core takeaway from this whole thing.
I'll bottle some up for you the next time because I did a pork shoulder. I do smoking too. Like I smoke pork shoulders and ribs and shit like that. Yeah, dude. And a lot of it is like I use a lot of wild meat. Like when we go boar hunting, I instantly know I'm going to have 2 shoulders and 2 hams from it that I'll sit there and smoke off the ribs. And then I usually get the belly fat and smoke my own bacon as well.
Nice.
And my wife looks at me and she's like, you smoke the bacon? I'm like, hell yeah.
Yeah, motherfucker.
I was like, hell yeah. And she's like, okay. And I'm like, you do it completely different. I'm like, you smoke it for less time. It just sits in a smoke box. Like there's, I have the smoke box, and then I have the smoke that just blows into it, and only, it's at like 120 degrees is all it's doing, and it's just giving it flavor. I was like, and then you cut it into the strips and cook it off that way. She's like, oh, okay. But like usually when I do my pulled pork, that's the one thing I always do is smoke shoulders. And when you're done, when it comes out of the smoker, dude, you just grab the bone right out of it and just slide it the fuck out.
Nice.
Like you can sit there with like, a fork, like not even a fork, dude. I just sat there, like I put gloves on and like you pick it up and it just starts falling the fuck apart. And my dad loves it. He's like, yo, for my birthday this year, can you smoke another shoulder? I'm like, sure. So we go to like Sam's Club and get these fucking shoulders that are like 20 fucking pounds and do one of those up. And ribs. I've learned that I can do ribs in the oven actually easier than anything else. Like I cook ribs off in the oven and I cook them at like 300 degrees for an hour and they come out where you literally can just pull them right off the fucking bone. But I like smoking them because it gives it a better flavor. That's my thing. Like, I like having a good flavor to my rib. I usually do a dry rub on all of my ribs as well.
Man, I don't know how you're feeling, Cobra, but I'm lucky I don't have any like cats or dogs near me.
Yeah,
I'd have eaten one by now. But like, those are some nice ribs right there.
Eddie, I'll put it to you this way: if you lived in my household for like, when I've got all the, like when I start doing all that shit, you'd probably gain like a good 20, 30 pounds. Like I know why I got chubby at one point, dude. I know why like I gained like a good 60 pounds living here when we first moved down because that's all. I was not working, I wasn't doing anything, and I was just smoking foods left and right. And then there's a place down the road from us called Smoking Out. So if I'm lazy and don't feel like doing it, dude,
you just go down there,
pick up fucking full rack. Like I went down there. They've got a meal where it's set up where it's a pound of pulled pork, a pound of smoked chicken, and 2 racks of ribs for $30.
Yum.
Yeah, dude. And I'm telling you, like, you grab the rib and you just pull it the fuck. And they got these sauces that are slamming. Like, they have a sweet mesquite one and a few other things. And I was talking to the one guy, and I was like, yeah, so what rubs? I was like, what kind of rubs do you guys do? And he's like, what do you mean? I'm like, do you use your own? Do you make your own? And the guy's looking at me, and he's like, oh, it's just whatever's in this can. And I'm like, oh, God. I'm like, dude, let me show you a recipe real quick. And pulled spices off the rack, and I made a rub for the guy. And he's like, holy shit. He's like, you do? I'm like, dude, I do this for fun. And he's like, anytime you want a job, man, you let me know. I was like, really? He's like, dude, he's like, I'll have you come down here and smoke all the fucking foods you want. I'm like, maybe once this cancer thing's done, I might go down there.
Yeah, there you go.
Like, I told my wife flat out, I said, I want to open up a restaurant. I was like, I think with all the recipes that we have, I said, if we could do it, I'd love to be able to do that. And she's like, really? I was like,
do a whole load of, like, everybody likes smoked meat. I mean, I don't know anybody that said, shit, you know what, I prefer my meat normal. It's like,
yeah.
Smoked is the way to go. If you have the option, go for this.
Yeah. It just adds so much more flavor to it, though. That's the thing. Like, I mean, the one bar I worked at, dude, I loved it. The bar originally burnt down. They rebuilt it, and they built in a fucking smoker into it. Oh, my God. Everything in the house was smoked. Like, the chicken, our wings were smoked. So, like, we'd fucking smoke them, and then all you'd have to do, the wings were never dropped into a deep fryer, ever. They were smoked, and then you do whatever, flavor you want. You throw them in the fucking oven for, 10 minutes so it fucking heated them up, toss them in the sauce, and fucking send them out. And these things, oh my God, dude. I love smoking foods because it was just so much easier. I hated cleaning the smoker, though. Because you smelled... Dude, it's bad when, we would pull all the shelves out, fucking clean them, and then you have to scrape the fucking sides. And you're watching
certain stuff off.
Yeah, dude, just getting all the fucking breakdown and the smoke and everything else, dude. And you would just stink like a fucking smoke. Like the smoker. It's bad. Anybody on the low man on the totem pole always got that job. So, my first day there, what did I do?
Clean the smoker.
Clean the fucking smoker.
Yeah.
And they're like, just a heads up, here, put the fucking white union suit on, fucking get some gloves, duct tape, and they're like, put the fucking thing over your head. I'm like, why? They're like, because if not, you will stink like it. I'm like, all right, cool. Made sure, dude, I had goggles on the whole fucking night, had something over my face.
Tuck stuff into the goggles as well. So
yeah, dude, so nothing got in. And I'll tell you what, dude, I put the fucking union suit that I had, my painting suit, into a trash bag and just like had it sitting outside of my house. I remember the one day I'm like, what the hell is that smell? Like I smell like, smoking, like, the mesquite smell, and I'm like, open the bag, dude, I'm like, oh my god!
Oh, Jesus!
And it was like 6 months later, dude, and it was just like, dear Lord, man. Like, it didn't smell bad, but it was like, holy crap, that fucking smells. My roommate's like, dude, what smells so good out here? I'm like, stick your face in that. He's like,
Hey,
yeah, there.
told you she'd show up.
I love how calm she is. Well, she's like, yeah, I'm a
Whatever.
cat. Yeah, I know. Did you guys get the story that I sent in the chat?
No, let me see. Oh, shit.
I've seen the link. I didn't click on it yet, though.
Check it out. It's not. Don't take it too seriously. It's only 2 guys that have ever reported this, but 2 guys have reported that oil has been coming from their Xbox One.
Huh.
And to me, that reminds me of like Saudi Arabia. You know, where this is how I imagine Saudi Arabia to be, where like they're trying to dig for water because it's like, really hot, and they're gonna, maybe spring a fountain for the local village, and then they just find oil, and they're like, oh man, oil again. Oh.
Leaking
Milky
milky white
Oh,
residue.
more oil. That's how rich they are.
Yeah.
Like everywhere they dig is just oil. And I just thought, like, Xbox are shipping consoles with oil in it, so like you can sell the oil to pay for your. I just thought it was really funny, and it's only 2 instances, and I think Microsoft have responded saying, they haven't heard of it, and there's only been these cases, and it's really rare. I don't imagine it's a widespread thing, but I just thought it was kind of funny.
Dude, that would suck, though, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's odd, isn't it? Oil. What could oil come from?
Yeah, what the
oil.
fuck?
It's just not not something that's used in a machine, in a computer of any sort.
Zip Zappity Zoom says, why does all good have to be so fat?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, I'll tell you what, I will honestly say, having, what is it, fried fatback, dude, it tastes so good, but it's so bad for you.
Yeah.
So bad.
Pretty bad.
There was another thing I was watching, dude was doing, it was, so people know fatback is just bacon, is all it really is, with extra fat on it. This guy was doing fucking corn dog, like the fucking fatback.
Yeah.
Popped onto a skewer, dipped into the fucking cornmeal, like the corn dog stuff, and deep frying it. And deep frying it. I was like, oh my god. I would fucking try that in a heartbeat.
Yeah, I bet it tastes like magic, innit?
Yeah, it's probably like, oh my god, I'm done. I can die. Like, I watch... dude, I really can't watch these cooking channels when I'm hungry, because then it just causes me to, like, want to fucking binge eat. Because this dude did a fucking country fried steak on a stick.
Country fried steak on a stick.
Mm-hmm. That's one thing you got to try if you ever come to the States and you come to the South, country fried steak.
Yeah.
Down in my phone.
Oh my god, dude. It is fucking phenomenal. People call it chicken fried steak as well, just a heads up.
Yeah.
It's not really chicken at all. It's beef.
I've heard it's mainly from like TV shows, like cooking meats as if it were chicken.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So yeah.
This is like, it's like a skirt steak, and then, it's actually dropped into like a tempura batter and then fried.
Okay.
And then you usually do like a sausage gravy on top of it, like a pepper gravy.
What's it called? Steak?
Chicken fried steak.
Yeah.
Oh, chicken fried
steak.
Yeah, look up chicken fried steak or country fried steak, and it is phenomenal, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god. That's why I love living down here in the South, dude. Not gonna lie, I can get some really fattening foods that taste wonderful.
I used to be I never used to eat pork for like the longest time, mainly because of my upbringing and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
My family never used to eat pork, but at one point I realized that the whole pork thing was just nonsense, and it was no reason for me not to eat it. And I continued not eating it just because that's how I was brought up.
Mm-hmm.
But then one day I was in TGI's, which is Thank God It's Friday, it's called.
Yeah, we have a place called TGI Fridays.
Oh, you guys have TGI's. Yeah, fuck. Why don't? Duh.
Yeah.
It's an American restaurant. What the fuck am I thinking?
Yeah. TGI Fridays.
Yeah, I'm the idiot here. Don't worry. Yeah, and I was sitting there and I was like, fuck, man, I really want. I'm gonna try those damn ribs. So I just like Give me a rack of ribs, and they were the most beautiful tasting ribs I've ever had.
Yeah, dude, ribs and bacon. I'll tell you what, something about ribs, dude. I don't know what it is, but like it's so funny. Like my system does not agree well with pork at all.
Really?
Yeah, pork really fucks me up
I feel
sometimes.
sorry for you, bro.
Like I can eat ham and it's fine, but like it'll do a number on my stomach, and I'm like, fuck it, I'll deal with it anyways. And I remember the first time of having ribs when I was, younger, and then making them. And it's funny because like a lot of places I worked at, a lot of places would boil the ribs. And I'm like, oh, you cook all the fucking flavor out of it.
Yeah, that's losing everything. What the fuck?
Fireworks are going to be going off.
Oh.
Yeah, fireworks stand right around the corner.
New
Year's Eve and all that shit.
Yeah.
Just means fireworks are going to be going off left and right. Apparently, the guys from Fuck Yo Couch Gaming, FYOC, I'm going to be hopping on with them. We're doing a podcast that night for New Year's Eve. And I told them, I'm like, don't be surprised if I just take the camera out while I'm fucking shooting fireworks the fuck off.
Yeah.
They're like, are you serious? I'm like, yeah, dude. I was like,
on the main screen.
And it's funny because on, 4th of July, dude, it sounded like you're playing Battlefield.
Yeah.
That's how fucking, the night after, the 5th of July, we did a fucking podcast. And you could hear, I actually had to turn my camera because you could see fireworks going off in the background.
Yeah, I remember that one.
But, dude, it was hilarious because the 4th of July, it sounded like a war zone out here. I mean, until 4 o'clock in the morning is when the fucking fireworks finally stopped.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
See, over here in the UK, it's, they have, rules and whatnot for, it's 11:30, everything has to stop, and then everyone goes to sleep.
Oh, we have rules like that here, too.
It's just no one listens to them.
Just nobody fucking listens to them.
Nobody follows them.
Yeah. 4th of July around here is just watch the fuck out, make sure, I mean, it was funny. It was like a competition between all the fucking neighboring houses of who could set off the louder fireworks.
Yeah.
And I had 4-inch mortars that I was shooting off. I have professional grade fireworks. The fucking mortar tubes are that fucking big.
Oh, yeah.
I wish we could have something cool like that. Ours is all here's a little stick, and then here's a thing at the end of it.
So, you had the street behind us, they're setting theirs off, and I'm hanging out with all the neighbors, and I'm like, you think I should do it? Should I set them off? And they're like, well, what time is it? I'm like, it's only 7 o'clock. And I was like, do you guys want to wait till nighttime? They're like, well, how many do you have? I'm like, I have 250 mortars. And they're like, holy shit. I was like, so you tell me when. And they're like, how many tubes do you have? I'm like, I have 15 tubes. And they're like, holy fuck, dude. I was like, so you let me know when you want me to... I was like, just a heads up, I have to save 100 for the grand finale. And they're like, all right, no problem, dude. That's fine. We'll do it that way. I'm like, all right, cool. So everybody had, sparklers with us pretty much, and that's how we were lighting everything the hell off. Because the grand finale, dude, was load all 15 tubes, fucking set them off, and then fucking no sooner they popped out, fucking each person had 3 of them in their hands. Go over to your next 3, fucking thump, thump, thump. Next person, thump, 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 thump. That's all you hear. So it's we're just running back and forth.
Was that how they got set off as well? Just like a normal mortar where you just drop it in and it's like...
Usually they drop them in and it's all done electronically. It's actually like a touch wand pad.
Oh, I see.
And, it's funny because my cousin does demolitions, and it's just... Depending on how big how many explosions there's going to be, he's got this board that sits in front of that has these metal fucking rods that stick up, and each one's placed off to a different mortar tube. And then all he has to do with it's a metal fucking pen, and it just fucking sets a current to it that has a charge to it. It's thump, 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 thump. So he can sit there and hit each one. So we were setting 2 off in one that it had set up, so it had 2 explosions in one, and this and that. And dude, it was fucking hilarious because you had everybody trying to compete with whose could be better.
And then you've got this.
And then all of a sudden, with us, you hear thump, 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 thump. And
you just sort of
yeah, that's all you heard was each one was boom, 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 boom. And I'm like, reload, reload. Everybody reloads. I'm like, fire, boom, 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 boom.
You're gonna give some poor Vietnam veteran a heart attack.
Oh my god, I probably gave a 9-year-old man definitely a heart attack because all of a sudden it was just boom, 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 boom. That's all you heard for a good 5 minutes of nothing but explosions, and they're just like, holy shit, that's fucking loud. I'm like, yeah, dude. I'm like, you guys Definitely.
I know Times Square has that whole like drop in the ball thing on New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
Do you guys have a big ass fireworks show special, like one particular one that's just known?
Yeah, usually it's that night on fucking. Well, not on 4th of July they do it. It's not just one. Like they do them everywhere. Like Philly always did
in
it
like special cities, right?
Yeah, like certain cities.
Yeah.
Like in Philadelphia they used to do it at. It was actually at the art museum, and it was pretty cool. Like the one year we went down to fucking South Street thinking it was going to be down at the one pier, and that was the year they changed it down to Center City at the art museum. Dude, we ran, like literally ran, and made it all the way down there for the fireworks display because it was like Earth, Wind, and Fire was fucking playing and shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
And it was pretty cool, but it was just like, fuck, dude. I mean, I ran through the city of Philadelphia, fucking trucking it to get to, we were in South Philly to get to, Center City, just, to the art museum, North Philly, to fucking get there and shit, fucking trucking it. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, the chick I'm dating with is, on my back as I'm running through Philly and shit. And I'm like, there's a transvestite, there's another one. It was funny as hell. Because we took a cab back. But, as we're coming back, my buddy's like, he's like, dude, how many fucking cross-dressers are around here? And my girlfriend at the time, she sits up and she's like, just a heads up, she's like, we are surrounded by nothing but drag queens here, just to let you know, guys. Because my buddy's
the way I like it.
my buddy Mike was like, dude, he's like, that chick looks, and she's like, that's not a girl, dude.
That's it.
And he's like, and it reminded me, Figwink, was telling a story on YouTube about, he was in one of the local convenience stores, and then she was like, damn that ass, and then it turned around and it was a dude.
What you want, baby?
And that's pretty much, how it was. My buddy Mike, she's like, should we tell him? I'm like, no, just let him, just let him go.
Let him just go for the grab,
and he goes up and
it's bigger than his.
he's spitting game to this fucking chick, and she looked passable. Definitely no Adam's apple, nothing.
I've seen a lot of dudes that have now become chicks. Obviously, there are some bad ones where they're quite big and broad and whatnot.
Yeah,
but then you get your fair share of ones that look like genuine girls, and you're like,
yeah, that was the thing. He looked the drag queen looked very passable. It was kind of scary. And he's like, and we were egging him on. We're like, yo, go ask her out. Go fucking ask her out.
Look, ask for a pussy. See if you can finger. The reason why I asked about. Go on.
I was gonna say, Zippy's like, speaking of balls dropping, where's Young Jay?
Oh, he's had his mommies.
Yep, he has his mama's in New Brunswick, middle of nowhere. Had to take a moose. I mean a bus.
The reason why I was asking about the fireworks thing is because they have them here in London. Mm-hmm. We have this London Eye. It's a big, massive, gigantic Ferris wheel.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen it.
Yeah, and they set up fireworks on that and on the River Thames that it's right next to. Mm-hmm. And every year it seems to get a minute longer. And I'm going to see if it gets a bit longer this time. Last year it was 17, and now it's going to be 18. And it's all choreographed to music and stuff like that. It's all really cool. But the thing is, every day they're sort of London is an eco zone where you have to be driving hybrids, or they put a congestion charge. So if you want to go into London, you have to pay to sort of ease congestion. But it doesn't really help because people that need to go into London will go to London anyway. So, whatever. And then they go and do this, where it's a 20-minute constant explosion with smoke everywhere. And you're like, surely that's good for the environment. Yeah. You just amounted to about 50 million cars going through the with their exhaust. I was like, you guys are morons.
Oh, God. But
I feel sorry for people that live near there because it just becomes one massive smoke cloud.
Yeah, dude. It. When we go to some of the baseball games and shit, they actually have with the one baseball game down here, the minor league team, we go down just for the fireworks. And usually where we're at, you sit on the field. Well, we're so close to the field pointless in sitting. We turn our heads to the fucking left a little bit, and there's all the fireworks. And when they're done, this cloud comes over the freaking field, and I'm like, this is why I don't sit on the grass.
It's like, I think he hit the ball. I don't know, man. I can't see shit.
Yeah, like I'm like, thank God they do it at the end of the game, because like, you know, they'll do one where like somebody hits a home run, they'll set off fireworks, and since it's a minor league field, there's no like fence, and like there's no big stadium. You know, pretty much it's a minor league baseball team, so there's no seats in the outfield. You know, it's just a wall, and then there's like a highway behind it and bullshit like that. So you have the, you know, really good seats. I mean, really, really good seats for the games. And it's just funny though when they start setting the fireworks off, like somebody will hit a home run and all of a sudden the wind blows the opposite direction and all that smoke just comes onto the field and you're like, yep, that's fun. 20 minutes later, you know, you're like, can't see anything. Thank God it's not a dome.
Yeah, really.
That's why I was cracked up during the Super Bowls, dude. After halftime and shit, and they come back and they're like, you're like, can't see anybody on the field. That's got to be fun.
When I last went to the Super Bowl, man, they must have. I don't know if they do this all the time, but they kind of went all out. They had like Neo, and they had the mascot. He sort of abseiled / jumped from the top of the stadium. And he was like on a big cord, and then he sort of swung like a pendulum in the middle, and then hit the ground. Fucking awesome, man! You guys really know how to put on a show. I'll tell you that.
Was that when you were watching the football game over there, or?
Yeah, when I was watching the NFL game over here, like San Francisco 49ers versus Jacksonville Jaguars.
That was pretty. That's awesome that you got to go see that, dude.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it, man. If I ever get a chance to go again, I'm definitely going. It was so much fun.
Yeah, because they're trying to do like 2 games a year over in England. I know that much. And it's funny because there's actually like it used to be the World League. I don't know if they still have it anymore. But it was kind of like the minors. Like, it was like all the rookies would end up going over there.
Okay.
And that's what they did. Like, they sent all the first-year rookies, and it's, you know...
Send them to another country. That's a little bit extreme.
Yeah, but they
would like play college teams, and that's about
like, you know, after college or anything like that, they'd send them over, you know, and it was like each team, like, you know, there was like, you know, they were actually farm clubs for the NFL teams, so they could send them over there for, you know, X amount of weeks or whatever, so they could get used to the speed of everything, and then go to mini camp and all that shit in the summer. Like, it was, you know, right after the Super Bowl is when they would start doing all this stuff. Like, right around the time of the draft, they'd get these guys in and just have them go over there, try everything out, and then I know they stopped doing it now, but it was always amusing seeing, like, these, you know, rookies. You had, like, no-namers and shit like that, and then all of a sudden, like, you know, a year later, you're watching these guys show up as, like, these, like, you know,
and they're like these big stars.
Yeah, you're like, holy shit, man! I remember watching him on TV. Like, that was always funny. Like, that's what I always liked about going to, like, when I lived in Pennsylvania, we had 2 minor league teams, and then the Phillies. We had the Reading Phillies, and then there was the what the fuck was it? Like the Allentown fucking Iron Pigs. But we used to go to the Reading Phillies, and you'd always, you know, we always watched those games. Were like, it was like $10 for a ticket, you know.
Nothing.
And $10 a ticket, and then, like, you know, $10 you could get, you know, like, it literally cost like $20 to feed the family if you went with, like, you know, a family of 3.
Yeah.
And that was like hot dogs and beer and fucking soda, and, like, you know, a funnel cake. And they had these fucking funnel cakes too that were like that fucking big for like $2.
Ooh, yum.
And they were like that fucking thick too. So it was like, hell yeah. So, you know, growing up, you know, that's what my parents, you know, we didn't have much money, and it was easier to do that than go to a Phillies game where you're spending, you know, $65 a ticket, and then like $90 a beer and all that other bullshit. So, and it was pretty cool though, like being able to watch these guys from the minor leagues, and then all of a sudden watching them on TV. You're like, dude, I saw him last year in the fucking minors. You're like, holy shit! Like watching all the prospects come up, and I'm like, this is fucking awesome.
It must be awesome to like pick out guys. Like you see a quarterback like throw a really far ball, you're like, that guy's gonna be somebody.
Yeah, like baseball, you could really tell, dude. It was like, all right, that second baseman, and I remember I have autographs from these guys, you know, that were in the minors, just getting, you know, goofy, you know, getting autographs like from them, and then all of a sudden seeing them hit the majors, and you're like, holy shit, dude, I got an autograph from that guy 2 years ago. Wonder how much
this thing is worth so much money now.
Like Ryan Howard, dude, I have a baseball bat from Ryan Howard when he was with the Reading Phillies, and then all of a sudden he became this, like, you know, big massive fucking, you know, team player for the Philadelphia Phillies. My buddy's like, dude, how long have you had that bat? I'm like, when he was a rookie.
It's like 22 years. Oh.
They're like, are you serious? I'm like, yeah, his rookie season, when he was in the minors, I got it. And then he came up and just started, like, housing shit. You could tell, dude. I mean, the first game, watching him, right off the bat, like, he went 4 for 4 with 3 home runs. His first game. And he was just like, you know, I mean, he was making the pitching was just like, and everything and anything was in his wheelhouse. And I mean, he wasn't hitting like barely over the fence. I mean, we're talking like 400-foot moon shots. You're like, oh yeah, he's going to the majors.
Mm-hmm.
My dad calls it. He's like, yeah, he's going to be with the Phillies by the end of the season. I was like, most likely. And it's funny because now we're down here. We go to the minor league games. So anytime any of the Phillies players get injured, there's the Phillies minor league single A team, the Clearwater Threshers. So they'll go down there and start their rehab. So they'll play a few games down there. They are cocksuckers when they come down.
Really?
Some of them really are. I will say Chase Utley is a douchebag. And
all
I wish
fame's got to the head.
Yeah, like he was down here. My kid asked him for an autograph, and he just snubbed him.
What?
Fucking snubbed him. And I called him out on it. I was like, you know what? I was like, I hope you get fucking injured again, you fucking faggot. I was like, way to crush some kid's fucking hopes and dreams. All I wanted was a fucking autograph.
Yeah, it's just an autograph, man.
And he stopped, and he turned around, and he came over, and he signed it with a fucking attitude. I was like, dude, keep the ball.
Yeah.
And he just looked at me. He's like, what? I'm like, dude, if you're going to be a cocksucker, man, keep the ball. I was like, you're a fucking asshole. And my kid's just like,
damn, deserve it.
My kid's
Go, Dad.
Like, he's just like, wow. Like, everybody was blown away. I'm like, dude, you know.
Yeah, if he's being a dick about it, I don't want your shit.
You're getting paid to play a game that, you know what, there's 20 million other kids and people that would love to be able to play in that. Don't be a cocky, you know, fucking dickbag about shit.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but if I made it to the major leagues and I got to fucking ride the pine, I'd be happy, you know. Making fucking league minimum at $200,000, I'll sit my ass on the fucking bench and be happier than a pig in shit.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's what kills me. These guys are like, you know, these fucking, oh, what the fuck? You know, well, besides Aroyd and his, you know, well, if I get suspended, what happens to my money? I need to get paid. Fuck you. Like Jacoby Ellsbury. Well, the Red Sox only offered me $100 million. I'm going to take the $123 million and go to the Yankees. Really?
Like
really?
The $3 million. That's what I don't get as well. Like, there's a football team, NASPOR, over here, and one of our top players, he was our best player last season. With this season, we was going to get some more new players, and then it would have been epic. Mm-hmm. But he left us just before we was going to change. He left for another contract that was like, it was something like £3 million more, and I was like, he wasn't being paid a little amount of money. He was being paid like something like 60 million or something like that in his 3-year contract or whatever it was, and he went for 63 million. I was like, dude, you're not gonna get 3 million. What? You're gonna get taxed more than that.
Yeah, really.
That's what kills me. Like, these guys get paid to play a game that you and I would give our left testicle pretty much.
Exactly.
To fucking play and make half of what they're fucking making.
And to show they have like no loyalty to the people who are basically paying for their check as well, like
yeah,
fans and whatnot.
There's no loyalty. Like, honestly, man, money has destroyed a lot of sports. Like, you rarely see somebody that comes up from a farm team. And, like, Derek Jeter, I hate the fucking Yankees, but he's one of the few Yankees I could ever respect because he stuck with them and stayed with them. You know, he's had opportunities where his contract has run out, and he could have re-signed with somebody else if he wanted to. But no, he wanted to, you know, he wants to retire a Yankee. I got nothing but respect for that.
Yeah.
You know, fucking.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
You know, like, if Dustin Pedroia from the Red Sox mysteriously fucking re-signed with another team, dude, I will find that short fucker and punch him in the fucking mouth. I'm serious. Like, it's like, really? Like, dude, like, you get these guys that, like, you're like, okay, like, Jason Varitek was a lifer for the Red Sox, you know? And some of these guys come over from, like, free agency, like Big Papi, he's another one. I pray to God that he freaking retires as a Red Sox. I don't see him going anywhere else. But some of these guys that, you know, they're like, well, I want to get more money. That's understandable. That's great. But, dude, you're getting paid to play a child's game.
Exactly, and a little bit of loyalty, especially to those guys, like the for the UK, when you're playing football anyway, when you're playing soccer, it's 15 to 20 guys that you know, that you play with every day, you train with every day, to turn your back on them for a little bit of money. And in comparison, it's something like 3% of a raise. It's nothing, and it's just, you lose sort of respect for people like that.
And it's funny because you see the people that, you know, all right, I understand you want to win a championship. That's understandable.
Mm.
And when watching certain people go to these teams that they know that they, like, anytime anybody goes to the Yankees, they know, oh, well, at least we'll make the playoffs. This year it was great that they didn't. But it's funny when you see certain people, they're like, well, I want to win championships. Well, I'm going to go to this team. Like LeBron James when he left Cleveland and went to fucking Miami. You know, that shit, I was kind of like, really, dude? That's a little shiesty if you ask me.
You just gotta try to build up your team, not leave to go to a team.
Yeah.
You gotta like help build morale and maybe work out some new tactics or something.
It's like that team drafted you from, you know, you didn't even.
They make you what you are.
Yeah. If they didn't draft you, you wouldn't be, you know, it just. You're playing it, like I said, you're playing a kid's game, you're getting paid millions upon millions of dollars, and you're just like, well, I want more money. Fuck that shit.
Was it Jordan? Was it you guys that told me? Somebody told me that Jordan, I think it was, that he used to wear his own brand trainers, his sneakers, and apparently that's illegal in NBA. But all it is just a fine. And the thing is that the company that was basically promoting his shoes,
Nike.
Yeah, Nike, I think, were paying him more than what the fine was.
Yeah.
So it was something like, say the fine was $5,000, they were paying him $10,000, and then and then he'd just wear that, and it was so every appearance he'd get a fine for $5,000, and it was just sort of like a standard procedure thing. Here's your fine, and there you go onto the pitch.
Yeah, there was one. It was funny actually. Chad Johnson, aka Ocho Cinco, had his shoes. The one season he had pictures put on his shoes for every touchdown catch that he had, and he wore them in the pregame warm-ups, and you're not allowed to. It was a $25,000 fine, and they showed him, because they used to do the 7 days of Monday night on Monday Night Football, and it was a Monday night game. They showed him going to the bank, withdrawing $25,000 for this fine, putting it in a fucking duffel bag, going into the stadium, throws his shoes on, has it on the side, like has it literally sitting on the fucking sideline with him, does his warm-ups. Merton Hanks from the front office comes up, and he goes, here you go, this is for my fine. And they were like, what? He goes, that's $25,000. I know you're going to find me. Here you go. Just like, that's balls.
Boss, right?
I was like a fucking boss. That's great. But it's funny, like there's another thing. It's called on ESPN. It was 30 for 30. It's called Broke, and it's actually all these NFL players, dude, that ended up going broke because these contracts aren't guaranteed money. You know, when these guys get signed, let's say they get a $15 million deal for 3 years. In their head, they're like, I just got $15 million.
Well, no, 3 years, yeah.
Over 3 years, and then granted it's over 3 years, but they're like, all right, so that's $5 million a year. Well, no, out of that $15 million, let's say $8 million is guaranteed, and then the rest is incentives. Like, let's say you make the Pro Bowl, you get X amount of dollars. You make, your team makes the playoffs, you get X amount of dollars. If you make MVP, you'll make X amount of dollars. So like that's all. That's where the extra incentives come in.
Yeah.
And some of these guys just aren't thinking, dude, and they were like going out buying these fucking houses and just like
Lamborghinis.
Lamborghinis, fucking Ferraris, all this bullshit, buying like a $10 million house when granted they just got paid $15 for 3 years and $8's only guaranteed.
Yeah.
That's like MC Hammer, man. I mean, he got so fucking rich and had an entourage with him that got paid. That's why he ended up going broke.
Broke as a mother trucker.
Yep. That was the funny thing, dude. I mean, it's funny, like, people, like, some of these people don't think, like, guaranteed money, not, and some of these guys don't invest their money, and by the time they retired, have nothing. Have nothing to show for it. That's sad, because when you've literally made about $40 million in your career,
and you have nothing to show for it.
You have nothing to show for it, that's bad shit, dude. I don't know about you, but if I was making that much money, I'd be still living in the same size house that I'm living in now.
Maybe with a few extra things, like I'd buy myself I wouldn't have to think twice to buy myself an iPhone or something like that.
Yeah, like, I would have the iPhone. I'd probably have the Xbox One. I'd have a brand new car. I wouldn't go, like, all fucking out with the fucking car, balls out with it, but,
Nice pickup, not much.
Yeah, get myself a nice truck, get my wife a decent, family mobile, and then probably buy a fucking beat-up car that I could restore. And that's it. And wouldn't go any further than that. Wouldn't be like, well, I got to buy me a fucking $2.5 million house. Like, I told my wife, if we ever won the lottery, I was like, I'm not moving. I was like, and I'm investing the fuck out of the money I get.
Yeah. We'll do up the kitchen. We'll do up the bedrooms. That's
about it. Yeah, like, I would remodel, like, I would redo a lot of shit in the house.
Yeah.
But that's it, I wouldn't sit there and be like, well, you know what, I'm going to go get that $2.5 million house that's down the road, which there is one, ironically enough.
We're not Cobra, shit. Come on.
Yeah. Dude, there really is a $2.5 million
Playboy mansion.
With hockey sticks in the background.
Yeah.
Dude, that guy's got more pussy in his house than you ever will.
Hold on, I got 2 cats in my house, damn it.
Oh, you got 2 cats as well? Well, he's got more pussy than I've got in my house.
But get this, so when we moved down here, there's actually a house down the road it was going for $2.5 million. Has an Olympic-sized swimming pool in the backyard. It's on the water. Has its own helicopter and helicopter pad. Has its own tennis court.
That's ridiculous.
It's a 8-bedroom, 6-bathroom house.
Would you like to check out too?
Yeah. Here's the thing, though.
I'll be down there tomorrow.
Because the fucking housing market sucked so bad down here, the $2.5 million was way above asking price. Asking price was only $950,000.
Oh, wow.
What?
Yeah, dude. That was the fucked up thing. It was technically worth over that, but because the housing market crashed down here. I mean, crashed bad, Eddie. My house, when my parents, when we got it, dude, we got it for $70,000. This house is worth it's worth close to like $180,000, but we got it for $70,000.
Shit.
Wow.
Yeah, my parents' house, they bought it for $95,000. It's worth $45,000 when we moved down. That's how bad. I was going to
say, I'm actually in the sorry. I'm actually in the real estate business. That's like the way I get by in life and whatnot. And I have like a couple of properties and things like that.
So what, not your YouTube money?
My YouTube money, unfortunately, doesn't support it.
YouTube pennies?
I actually bought this with the YouTube pennies for the giveaway thing on my channel. Let me see if I can get that.
Oh, there you go. Oh, yeah, I saw that.
Man of Steel, the Blu-ray Steelbook.
Nice. Very nice.
So you had to save up for, what, 2 years to buy that?
Yeah, it's basically a year, and I managed to get that together. I was like, yes, I've got something.
You want to see what I got with my YouTube pennies?
Go on, let's see them pennies.
A pen?
A pack of cigarettes.
Pack of cigarettes.
Yeah.
Let's see. Okay, fucking glare. But yeah, pack of cigarettes. That's what I got. That's
hey, bros, I'm gonna have to get
Camel menthol lights.
Yep, camel menthol silvers. But anyways,
all right, yeah, same
all right, Eddie, that is no problem, boss man. Thank you very much for showing up. I know we're like a half hour over the time limit that you said you were gonna.
I know. Do you know what? I just get into it. I'm just like, okay, dude, we have to talk about this.
I always appreciate it when you show up, though, man. It's a fucking blast.
Cool, yeah, it's always fun for me too. Thanks a lot, guys, for having me.
No problem, man.
Guys. Next time.
Cheers,
all right, man. See you.
Yeah.
Zip zappity zoom. By the way, yeah, Chad Ochocinco did disappear because he sucks. He ran his mouth too much. Then he punched his wife, and the team he was with fucking let him go the second he punched her in the mouth. It's like T.O. That's another one. Like T.O. was trying to make a fucking comeback, and I was like, dude, you're old. Get over it. You suck. And it sucks when you see, when you hold on.
All right.
I live in a 3-story house with a bunch of junkies. A bunch of junkies use it as a drug house, so no one bought it for a while. We restored it, and our 2-story house in San Diego costs more. My family isn't rich at all. Unemployment. Hashtag unemployment. Dude, I'll tell you what, like, buying this house, I mean, it saved our asses, my parents fucking getting this thing, and I honestly am fucking grateful that they did it for us, because there was no way that we could have fucking bought the house by ourselves, but dude, the market just was so, like, my dad was honestly like, look, the market's so bad that it's going to help you guys out in the long run. He's like, we'll be able to find a house that's cheaper than, what it could be.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much how it ended up working out, which, thank God. Just, dude, it was bad, man. Like, I remember I was looking at houses and shit, too. And here's the fucked up thing. People were turning will turn the garages into, like, the bedroom. So that's how you're finding, like, 3-bedroom houses and shit. And people do some shady shit. One house looked beautiful on the line, like, all the paper, like, all the shit looked beautiful until we got there.
Yeah.
Like, this thing had a pool in the back, a heated pool, fucking everything. Had a nice one eye on it. And then come to find out, all the electricity that was run out back was literally an extension cord running through the wall.
Oh, jeez.
Like, just botched bullshit. I'm like, well, yep, there goes that house. And it was really nice, but then, like, certain pictures looked really good, and then getting into it, you're like, what the fuck is this? When the hell were these pictures taken?
Yeah, really.
I want my money back.
Well, there's a house right across the street from us, and it was foreclosed on. Well, I've never been into the house, but Aaron has heard stories about what the people that lived there before did. They had they finished off the basement, looked really nice, had like a home theater system into it, had the speaker wire and everything running through the walls. They got foreclosed on. They went down to the basement, ripped all that shit out of the wall, and left, and just bounced out of the house.
Oh, and by the way, Zip Zappity Zoom, your Chargers technically, that last play of the game lined up fucking. It was an illegal formation and should have actually been able to kick the ball again. But, oh well, Chargers won it anyways. Was kind of happy to see them get into the playoffs. I'm being dead serious. Oh, by the way, in NFL news...
Yes, Black Monday.
Black Monday. Gotta fucking love it.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Shanahan, gone.
Yep, Shano, fucking gone.
Schwartz,
gone.
Yep, gone. Tampa Bay not only fired their head coach, but fired their manager. They got a GM.
Dude, there was... Well, what do you expect, dude? They started off fucking 0-8.
Yeah.
They, it goes to show you that the club actually, like, they turned it around. I'm not gonna lie. They had, a better season than expected.
Yep.
But that coach, dude, was just a cocksucker, man. I'm sorry, but he, you knew right off the bat when he's pulling some of the bullshit he was pulling, like, when people were going to kneel the ball and he's trying to get his guys to fucking, hit the other fucking opposing players and shit. I'm like, this dude ain't gonna fucking last long at all.
No.
Whatsoever. It's gonna be fucking bad news. Yeah, the funny thing is, Cleveland, man, they fucking got rid of Cleveland's coach got the boot last night.
Yeah.
He didn't. They didn't even wait till today. They're like, oh,
nope.
Gone. See ya. Minnesota's coach, fucking gone. And here's the thing that sucks with Cleveland. It was his first year. And he got the boot.
Yeah. That sucks.
That's like, wow, dude, that's some fucked up shit. Yeah, Shiano fucking got fired today. Shanahan, we all knew Shanahan was going to get the boot. That was...
Yeah.
That's a fucking given. I wonder...
if you didn't know that was coming, then, you need to go back under the rock you came from.
Yeah. And I don't know if what's going to happen in Miami. There's talks that, he might get the boot as well, Miami's coach. Yeah. Same with Mike Munchak in Tennessee. I don't know if he got the boot yet or not.
I don't know.
Rex Ryan made it safe.
Yeah. Let's see. Minnesota even booted one of their coaches.
Yeah, they gave the boot to the coach. He actually shook hands and hugged all the players before they came out on the field. He knew he was getting the boot too.
Oh yeah.
And they had a shitty season. They just, I don't know, dude.
Yeah.
You knew that was probably going to happen. Cleveland, I kind of figured. I kind of figured with an 0-8 start, Tampa Bay would definitely get the boot. Jim Schwartz getting fired, I was kind of, once they had, they owned that fucking league at one point, the Central, and then just went on that skid towards the end, and you're like, yep, he's going to get shitboxed.
Yeah.
All those fucking draft picks they fucking gotten, and just bad news. And then the Texans, of course, fired Kubiak. The man had a mini stroke on the field. 3 games later, you're fired.
Yeah, that was bullshit.
I think that was kind of shady.
Yeah.
that was a lot of fucking, shadiness going on there. I was like, that's fucked up, man. At least let the man finish out the season to fire him. I don't know. That kind of just cracked me up. Like, wow, dude, he got the boot. Now there's talks though. The Texans might pick up Penn State's fucking coach.
Yeah, there was talks about.
They're working out a contract right now. Is what they're trying to do, apparently.
Yeah. There was talks about Redskins talking to Stanford's coach, but he said, "I'm not leaving."
Yeah, dude, any coach that goes to freaking the Redskins is screwed.
Yeah.
Because I really think it's ownership. I mean, they've had Shanahan is what, like the 7th fucking coach in the last 10 years.
Yeah,
so they fucking had some shit like that. That's bad news, man. If they're firing that many people, it's not the coach. It's got to be management. When RG3 gets special treatment from Dan Snyder, something's got to happen.
Yeah.
It can't be, the coach have... I know, apparently, dude, they were even saying, at the draft, it was Snyder who wanted to draft RG3, not Shanahan. Mm. Shanahan didn't want to fucking trade up for RG3. Didn't want to fucking get him at all. Mm. And apparently, that first pick was out of Shanahan's hands. And apparently, Cousins was Shanahan's pick.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that right there, dude, that says a lot. When your front office is having issues and shit like that, that's bad fucking news.
Yeah. It's like the Lions, everybody keeps, saying how bad they suck and everything. Well, they got some really talented players. It's just the Ford family needs to step out of the picture. They need to sell it to somebody who knows what the fuck they're doing.
I completely agree with you, dude. Right there with you. And it sucks to see that shit go down. Because they do, they've got talented motherfuckers on that team. I honestly think Detroit needs to get a coach that just, I don't know. How can I put it? When Detroit went into overtime again, was against the Eagles? What game did they end up going into overtime? Where they had an opportunity with 48 seconds left. They could have tried to get the ball down the field, and instead they kneeled.
I don't even remember which one that was.
It wasn't last week's. It was the week before that. And Schwartz was all pissed off at the fans. And I'm just like, dude, your job is on the line. You know your job is on the line. Why are you kneeling? You want to win. Yeah. You've got 48 seconds left and 3 timeouts. Why aren't you trying to go for the win? I'm sorry, but I would have fired his ass too.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I'm amazed that Jason Garrett's still sticking around.
Mm-hmm.
But I will say Kyle Orton looked pretty solid last night.
Yeah.
I mean, he did. I mean, he looked good for a backup that came, that hasn't played all season. Granted, he did pull a fucking Romo at the end, and it does suck to see them. I actually, not gonna lie, I wanted to see the Cowboys win.
Yeah.
Just because I hate the fucking Eagles that much. But I am liking Nick Foles compared to fucking Michael Vick.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's a solid quarterback. He's got the best QBR in the league. That's scary, dude. He's got the high. I think his QBR is 125. The dude's thrown 22 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. That's pretty fucking solid for somebody that didn't start the season. Shit, dude. Peyton Manning's thrown 56 fucking touchdowns.
Yeah.
And I think he's thrown 10 interceptions.
Yeah, one of the headlines here on NFL's website. That's where I go. Oh, Lovey a strong option for a Bucs job.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't think Lovey Smith is the fucking right way for the Bucs.
Yeah.
You know what? I know. Granted, I am a Giants fan, but I want to be able to make sure the Bucs football, since it's down here and it's on the TV all the fucking every Sunday.
Right.
I want something decent to be able to watch. I want something that I might be able to enjoy, and it just sucks. This year, every time the Bucs were on, I'm like, oh my god, this sucks. Who's their quarterback? They're terrible. This is bad shit. I can't wait for playoff. This week was the first time that there was actually 2 games on. There was a fucking game on Fox and a game on CBS. Usually there's never that down here. It's one or the other.
Wow.
I hate it, dude. I fucking hate it down here for football. I'm like, man, I'm gonna have to get the NFL Sunday ticket come football season just so I can watch like other games. I told my wife that. I'm like, look, football season. I was like, it sucks because I'm a diehard baseball fan, dude. I love me some baseball. So baseball season, at least I know that there's going to be a game on ESPN Monday night, Wednesday night, Saturday night.
Right.
And I at least know that I can catch a local game if I want to, which I fucking hate doing, but, you know, I can do that. And then we get like a Chicago network, so I can watch like the White Sox games. And 9 times out of 10, they're either playing the Red Sox or they're playing the fucking, you know, Tigers. So I can at least enjoy it and be like, all right, cool, I get to watch a decent game.
Yeah, really.
And, you know, and it sucks. Like, I hate watching Rays games, dude. They fucking suck. It's just one of those, like, the announcers are boring. I don't know. I got so used to, like, listening to, like, the Boston announcers, you know? So I'll probably end up buying the fucking, you know, Major League Baseball thing again. I did it, like, 2 years ago. I'll probably end up doing it again this year because I watch so much baseball. Now that I'm going to be home a lot, I watch... You know, I watch so much fucking baseball during the season. Yeah. And my wife's just like, I don't know how you can fucking watch these games. I'm like, and she's like, you get so fucking into them. Like, you have no clue. Like, baseball, like playoff baseball, dude. Oh, my God, man. My wife was hilarious because she talks to the TV. She fucking yells at the TV. She's just as bad as I am, dude.
Yeah.
And both of us were, like, now that we're down here, I converted her, dude. I converted her to be a Red Sox fan.
Nice.
Her favorite baseball player is Shane Victorino.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I know every Detroit fan hates Victorino because if it wasn't for that Grand Slam, Detroit might have been able to get it.
Yeah.
My neighbor down here who's from Detroit.
Oh, no.
Oh, God. He pulled up. He's like, tell your wife I fucking hate her. I was like, why? He goes, her boy Shane Victorino. And I'm like, yeah, baby. And, of course, I'm wearing my Boston.
Oh, yeah.
You know, my Boston Strong t-shirt. And he's like, I hate your guts. Fucking hate your guts. Ooh, give me 1 second. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Sorry for the dead air, people. My bad. I lost my fucking headphones. God damn it. Got this like 90-foot fucking cord on this thing.
You're on the floor.
Yay. So, I canceled my fucking, like, I ordered Sports Illustrated the one night, and I ordered the wrong thing. I just wanted the digital copy.
Right.
And it came, like, you know, it had the Red Sox thing and everything else, and I was like, I fucking canceled it immediately because I was not spending fucking 80-some bucks for Sports Illustrated.
Yeah, really.
So then, I'm like, fuck it. You know, canceled it the next day. Took money out, they put the money back in. Well, look what shows up at my fucking house because it was part of the fucking gift.
Oh, nice.
I get this box at my house on Saturday, and I'm like, fuck yeah, dude. I was like, I forgot. That's the only thing I have a 2004, a 2007, and now and check out the fucking brim of this shit, dude.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, dude. I was like, fuck yeah. It has the fucking World Series thing on the side.
Yeah.
And then actually has, you know, it's an authentic fucking Major League Baseball. I was like, fuck yeah, dude. My wife's like, now your hat is now complete. Collection is complete. Because I have my Red Sox 2004 World Series hat.
Yeah.
That has the World Series logo on the side. I have the 2007 one. And then this year I bought the 2013 playoff or postseason. It has that. And it has the B on it. And then I got the hanging socks with a fucking World Series logo for when they went. And my wife's like, I swear to God, she's like, you have more sports fucking memorabilia shit for every time the Red Sox went to the playoffs. I'm like, yeah, because before that, we didn't make shit.
Yeah.
I'm cherishing this shit.
Zippy said, if you don't mind your football not being in HD, just stream it off of VIPbox.tv. It's where he watches all his games.
No shit. Oh, I could care less if it's in HD. If I can fucking enjoy it. Hell yeah, dude. I'll have to keep that.
And speaking of announcers, I come across a story. Tim Tebow was getting a new job.
Yeah, he's working for what, the SEC network?
Yeah. He's doing a play-by-play for SEC's traveling show.
Yeah, he's all thrilled about that one.
Yeah.
I was actually looking at that earlier. I was like, oh, wow, Tebow got a job in the NFL. Just not
Well, it's not NFL, it's college.
Well, it's college, but I think NFL has something to do with it. I forget some shit. I was reading something somewhere. I was just, Lights, Camera, Tebow joins the SEC and still hopes to make an NFL comeback. Not happening. By the way, for all those Bears fans, I'm sorry, but that was a beautiful play last night. That, by far, Aaron Rodgers, man, oh my fucking God, dude. That was such a beautiful fucking play last night.
Yeah, my brother-in-law is a diehard Bears fan.
Dude, they showed the University of Wisconsin. I don't know if you saw that on ESPN today at all.
No, I didn't.
Oh my God, when you get a chance, go look it up on YouTube.
All right.
The whole team is going nuts. There is one Bears fan. One. And you just see him like sulking, throws the water bottle down, just like walks off like fuck. Like when that play happened, dude, like the other Badgers are going nuts, like, yeah, like jumping on each other and shit. I'm like, that's absolutely hilarious. Oh God, dude. So I don't know if I told you this earlier. I don't know if anybody else knows on how they're doing. No shit, UFC. By the way, UFC, I never ever want to see an injury like that again with Anderson Silva's leg. Because I watched that fight, dude.
Yeah.
I almost threw up, man. Like when you first saw it, it wasn't that bad until they showed the instant replay and you watched his leg wrap around the other dude's fucking leg and almost touch his shin again. I'm like, oh.
Yeah. Well, even the still picture that Yahoo was showing, you can see his leg was at an angle.
Yeah, dude. Like
it went like this and then like that.
Yeah, dude, it was just bad. And oh my God. I was like, oh, I'm going to be sick. Gonna be sick.
No, Zippy, I'm not going to start dancing.
But, so the Pro Bowl this year is going to be interesting. The NFL's trying to spice things up because they've noticed their ratings just suck for the Pro Bowl.
Yeah, this is going to be cool. I can't wait to see this one.
Yeah, this one's going to be, they picked out 2 team captains, and it's Deion Sanders and Jerry Rice. And they're going to do a draft for, like, there's no conferences are involved whatsoever for the Pro Bowl. So it's just going to be they're going to do a draft on, like, the 24th and 25th of January. And so they can, or whenever the Pro Bowl, I forget when the fucking Pro Bowl is this year.
Yeah, I don't remember.
It's in February, I guess, or whatever, towards the end. But what they're going to do is they'll actually do, like, a draft of people that they want. Now, Deion Sanders... Oh, yeah. Zip Zappity Zoom goes, that video is funny as fuck. The Bears fan is like, fuck this shit. Yeah, dude, that kid was pissed. Like, you see him sulking, throw the water bottle on the ground, just like walks away. Like, the whole team's going ape shit crazy. But, yeah, dude, Barry Sanders, fucking Deion Sanders and Jerry Rice. Now, Deion Sanders already started talking shit. Yep. And running his mouth, and he said that he only wants people that have made it to the Pro Bowl 5 years and less because they're going to be more hungry for it.
Mm-hmm.
He's right. And he's already pissed off some guys from the NFL, dude. Not going to lie. Oh, yeah, he's pissed some guys off. They're like, oh, okay. It's going to be like that, huh? Because in the past 2 seasons, like last year, it was, 97 points were scored. The year before that was, 100 points were scored. And they're like, their whole thing is they're going to try to go for defense. You know, they want. It's going to be interesting. I think it's cool because it's always been so boring and so blah. Like, there's no. How can I put it? There's no there's nothing for it. Like with baseball, at least the winner of that gets home field advantage in the World Series. You know, that's what I love. I'm like, hell yeah, dude. I love it when the American League gets home field advantage. I'm sorry, but you know. I'm not big on the National League unless it's the Phillies, and then it's, all right, cool. Because that 1 year, that All-Star game ended up being, 13 innings long, and they ended up fucking calling it?
Oh, yeah.
And wasn't Bud Selig the owner of the Brewers at that time, too?
I think so.
Yeah, and I'm like, how the hell can he be commissioner of the league and own a team?
Yeah.
That's some bullshit right there.
Yeah, I agree.
That's, that's like, Michael Jordan fucking playing for the Wizards and owning part of the fucking Grizzlies. Makes no sense. That's why they made him retire or some bullshit.
Oh, Zippy, I don't throw up at that kind of stuff, but I got grossed out seeing a video where a kid ollie off a staircase and the skateboard cut his nuts.
See,
So, hope he never wanted to have kids.
Yeah, no shit. Honestly, I wasn't grossed out until I watched the instant replay, and then when you watch that fucking leg wrap like that, you're like, ooh, that's gonna hurt. See, I've broken my leg like that, dude. I've shattered I powdered a kneecap, dude.
Yeah.
And knowing that feeling, like, he instantly went into shock.
Oh, yeah.
And it sucks because, like, here's the fucked up thing. There are already memes out there of that shit, you know, like that night. I'm like, come on, dude, let the man break his own leg and just let him be at peace.
Yeah, really. There's one video, and it's an old video back from Sid Vicious. And do you know who that is?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. He jumped off the middle rope in the match, and when he landed, his left ankle went just like that. Oh, yeah. I mean, the way the boot just shifted to the left like there was nothing in it.
Oh, God.
Oh, yeah.
And the scary, like, the fucked up thing is, though, like, at that point, a lot of those guys were on roids and everything else,
Yeah.
and the steroids just destroy ligament. Like, it does so much ligament damage, it's not even funny.
Yep.
And that's why a lot of these guys have bad backs, bad shoulders, bad knees, bad ankles.
Hulk Hogan.
Yeah. Dude, he lives, like, 20 minutes down the road from me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like, seen his house numerous times. The weird thing is, like, I call Florida, like, you know, it's like, you know, where wrestlers go to die.
Yeah.
Because, like, there are, like, you know, Axl Rotten,
Yeah.
like, you know, all those guys are down here. Fucking Hulk Hogan's down here. Fucking John Cena lives down here, too, which is funny.
Yep.
He's from Massachusetts, but lives in Florida. Came into the AutoZone I was working at, which was the funniest thing ever.
I remember you told me about
That was the greatest thing. Like, came in, hat pulled down, big dude, and needed and it was cool because he needed a filter for, like, you know, a hot rod, which was awesome. And it was cool, but he's just, I'm like, you know, trying to, I had to order it in for him and shit like that. And he was like, all right, cool, you know, name, and he's like, he used his real name, didn't use the wrestling name.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at him, and I'm like, he's like, don't say anything, please, don't say anything. And I'm like, what? And he's like, you know who I am. I'm like, yeah, I'm not. I'm like, yeah, it's no problem, dude. Like, you know, just kind of like ordering everything up for him, like, I'm like typing on the phone. I'm like, all right, cool, no problem, dude. You know, talking to him. And he came over, like, afterwards, he's like, yeah, thank you very much. Like, came over, shook my hand, and he's like, dude, he's like, I appreciate it so much that you didn't make a big deal. He's like, because people were eyeing him up, like, and you hear him, like, talking to the and I'm like, I walked in the back, I'm like, guys, shut the fuck up. And they're like, what? I'm like, don't say shit. Don't make a fucking big deal. The dude just wants to get in and get out. And he did. And he's come, like, he came back a few other times, and he's like, you know, when, like, nobody was there, which was hilarious. He's like, when would be the best time to get? I'm like, come in on Sundays, man. He's like, really? I'm like, if you're ever in the area, come in on a Sunday. Nobody's really here. He's like, all right, cool. And I came in on a Sunday. He's like, yeah, I just want to say thank you very much, dude. I'm like, for what? He's like, you didn't make a big stink about it. I'm like, why should I? I'm like, you're a normal human being just like everybody else, dude. And I love, like, you know, don't get me wrong, I like watching wrestling, but I can't freak the fuck out like that with people. I've never been able to get fanboyish. I've met a lot. God, I got Eddie's issue now. I've met a lot of people before. Like, I've met a lot of fucking people in the music industry, like, meeting the guys from Lamb of God, meeting the guys from, like, Killswitch Engage. One of the girls I went to high school with dated the lead singer of Killswitch Engage.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I mean, you know, my friend Amy, I won't say her last name, my friend Amy, ironically enough, was on The Gong Show with Dave Attell when he did it.
Nice.
She was actually on one of the episodes of Bar Rescue.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was kind of funny. She came
in. That show.
Same here, I'm addicted to it.
Yeah.
And there was a band called Spine Shank that was kind of big in the early 2000s, and she married the drummer. And Amy always got me into all the metal shows, so I got to meet the guys from Slayer. I got to meet the guys from Il Nino, you know, meet all those guys and shit like that, the guys from Rammstein, fucking, you know, like all these big people, and I never got fanboyish, ever. Like, I actually met Chino from fucking Deftones by accident. The first world tour that they ever kicked off, they started off in Philly, and I remember getting pushed to the front of the crowd and I got stuck. Like, I got trapped on the fucking bar.
Yeah.
And I remember jumping up and down when I wasn't even trying to jump up and down, and ended up breaking 2 ribs and dislocating my shoulder that show because I got slammed into the fucking bar. I was not expecting it. And they had to, like, pull me off, and they pulled me into the back, like, as they were pulling me off. And Chino, like, they just got done doing their set. And he was like, yo, you okay, dude? I'm like, oh. I was like, I think I got broken ribs. And they had the medical groups fucking looking at me because one of the guys was like, yo, he needs medical attention. So they were just kind of hanging out, chilling out there. And he's like, yo, here's a copy of our album. Fucking signs it for me. There you go. It was White Horse. I was like, fuck yeah, I got an autograph. But anyway, like that was in my head. And I'm like, dude, thank you very much, man. Gave him, shook his hand, shit like that. Got high with the guys from fucking Cypress Hill.
Why wouldn't you get high with the guys from Cypress Hill?
Hey, it was them and the Cottonmouth Kings, and I cracked the joke. Was like, yo, you want to spark one? I got some. They're like, yo, let's, and chiefed it with them, and it was chill. I mean, sat on the tour bus, got high, and fucking chilled out with them. I had fun. They had fun.
Oh, say like, Cottonmouth Kings are around. I'm surprised ICP wasn't there.
Yeah, they were at the next show.
Oh, okay.
Dude, I've met ICP numerous times, which is funny as hell. One of my buddies was in a band called Wolfpack, and they're still around. Wolfpack's just kind of, I don't know, not as, I don't know. Okay, so you know the Bloodhound Gang, right?
Yep. Oh yeah.
I know the guys from the Bloodhound Gang. Like they lived around the corner from my house when I lived in Pennsylvania.
Oh, nice.
So they were, evil Jared Hasselhoff used to come into the AutoZone up north for his fucking 944 Porsche and get parts all the time. And everybody would look at me, they're like, dude, and I'm like, yeah. And he'd come in and be like, yeah, what's going on, dude? Shake his hand, bullshit with him. Like, thanks. And then one day I was like, can I be fanboy? She's like, what am I? Can I get a picture? And he's like, fucker, you've been to my house. And I was like, I know, I'm just being an ass. You're a cocksucker, like, sorry. Because like, everybody was there. Like, everybody was at our store. And I'm like, can I get a picture? And he's like, you've been to my house. Like, he picked me up over his head the one day at the store. He's like, come here. I'm like, thanks. And it was so funny because everybody's like, evil Jared Hassel. I'm like, yeah, he's my neighbor. And it was just funny. He's like, you've been to my house. Why do you want a picture? I'm like, I don't know, just be an ass. He's like, fucking going fanboy on me. I'm like, yeah, you know it, buddy. I say hi to you every morning. He's like,
Aaron's ex-husband is good friends with the guys from Papa Roach.
Nice.
Oh, yeah, he gets tickets and VIP passes to their shows all the time whenever they're around.
Zip Zappity Zoom said something about, where the fuck was it? About Van Halen.
Yeah, my dad's first wife was friends with Van Halen before she died, and apparently we're always at their house.
Wow. Like Eddie Van Halen? Or just, like David Lee Roth? But, it's funny, like, getting to meet some of those people. Like, I've always learned not to be fanboyish because they are people, too. I know on the inside it's like you're screaming like, oh, my God, oh, my God.
Yeah, on the outside you're just trying to stay cool.
You're just like, thanks, dude. Have a good one. And everybody I know is like, I don't know why you're not freaking the fuck out, dude. You just, like, when we, in Virginia, went to hang out with my buddy Greg, we went to a show, and I brought my guitar with me. Black Label Society was doing an acoustic show, and I wanted to get my fucking Zakk Wylde custom Gibson Les Paul with the fucking bullseye on it, autographed by him. And, we got there early, and it was like they did an acoustic show, and then they did their live show. It was like he won tickets or whatnot. And I remember, like, they're like, well, do you want autographs? And I'm like, yeah, that would be pretty cool. And I remember going, is there any way that I can go out to my car and grab my guitar and could you sign it? He's like, better yet, he's like, go get it, I'll play it for you, then I'll sign it.
Hell
on the inside, dude, I was screaming like a little fucking girl. I was like, oh, I bet. I'm like, awesome, dude, I'll be right back. Ran out, my buddy Greg's like, fuck yeah. And he picks it up and he's looking at this thing and he's like, damn. I'm like, yeah, and he's like, and he stops and goes, is this one of the ones that I used and I sold? And I'm like, yeah, that was, and he's like, that's fucking awesome. I'm like, yep, paid $7,000 for this fucking thing. They had a thing where through Guitar Center at one point, it was actually, he had a lot of guitars that he played on tour and then sold them off. So this thing had dents, dings, the whole fucking nine in it.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like it had a fucking brush mark on the back where his belt buckle was.
Oh,
against
okay.
the fucking guitar. Because
Yeah.
I'm looking at it, he's like, man, this thing's been through hell. And I'm like, yeah, it's one of the, and he's like, hold on. And then he stopped and looks at the serial number and he's like, is this one of the ones that I used and then sold to Guitar Center? I'm like, yeah. He's like, that's fucking awesome. I'm like, no, it's even better that you're going to play it again and then sign it for me. Thank you. And my buddy Greg got his fucking signed and played, and he's like, dude, he's like, I'm done. I can die now. He's like, I can die a happy man. And I was like, you're telling me, dude. Like, on the inside, I was screaming like a little fucking girl. And he's like, I can't believe you held your composure. I'm like, had to, man. I'm like, I don't want to seem like a little fucking kid, like a 2-year-old fucking kid. Like, yeah. And, like, you know, meeting the guys from Slayer was pretty cool. Like, in Philly, like, at the Electric House, was one of the venues. The Electric House is what it was called. And some of the bigger bands would actually do autographs before the shows and shit. So they'd just sit down at a table right up front and sign whatever. And, like, you know, nothing like Kerry King sitting down and be like, all right, what do you want? You know, and you could buy a poster for $20.
Yeah.
And they'd fucking sign it for you. And it was pretty cool. I mean, always going to the shows and shit like that. We always made sure to do that, you know, get all the fucking stuff. And then I won, remember the band Saliva?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Josie Scott. I became really good friends with that dude for a while. I ended up winning tickets to a thing in Philly from one of the radio stations. I called up at like 3 o'clock in the morning, shit-faced drunk. I wanted to hear a fucking song. This is back when you had to call in a request. Got now. And I called in and I ended up winning tickets. I won tickets to a show there, so they actually did like an acoustic show and then did a live show. It was when they were touring with Nickelback.
Oh, wow.
It was Default, them, and Nickelback. And I remember Nickelback was doing the Y100 Festival. And Saliva and Default weren't doing it, but they did their own little sideshow. So we ended up going to that. And that was really fucking funny.
That's
because, like,
I don't want to fall over backwards.
He can hear you.
We're live.
Shit.
Don't do that.
Yeah, we're live. Don't do it.
I don't want to get strikes on my fucking
I've done
channel.
that.
Yeah, the last thing he needs is like a porn strike on his YouTube account.
I'm sure the RPM network would love that one.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure they would
Can I
do.
borrow you for a second? Do you know
Okay.
Sean Montague?
Sean Montague. Name doesn't
She
sound
works
familiar.
at the Nail.
Okay.
She called me. She wants to place an order.
Awesome.
She got my name from Sheena.
Oh, okay, cool.
So, tell him his stuff shipped today. So,
Oh, your stuff shipped today.
Fucking awesome. I can't wait
I know he
because
can't see me from there.
my fucking head is killing me.
He took a baby wipe last night. Went like this on his head. Yeah, come out red.
Ow!
Yeah. Think about taking a shower that way, man. Holy hell, dude.
Yeah.
I cry. Like, it almost brings me to tears to literally, like, wash my head.
Well, hopefully
Yeah.
this stuff will work.
And I started using the Aveeno fucking soap. Like, I hate getting a shower because it hurts, but it feels better afterwards. Like,
If
putting
not,
it.
tell him to pass it on to the kids.
No, I can't. Can't.
No,
It's-
she's talking about her stuff.
Oh, hell no. They're not going to touch my stuff. I'll break them.
Hey, tell him I expect brownies when we come down.
Okay, that's no problem.
Better make up some butter.
All right, that's fine. I got enough to make some butter.
Yep. I told her about that. She kind of like, what?
Did you tell him about Seattle?
Yeah.
No, did I tell you about Seattle?
No, you didn't tell me about
Oh,
Seattle.
yeah.
Did I tell you what's going on with Seattle?
No. Oh, yeah, your cousin?
Yeah, my cousin's going to be
Yep.
going out there and doing some fine
Yep.
work out there.
Yeah, we were talking about that last night. No, Erin went out to Seattle to go see her friend Harmony that she's known since elementary school. And every year Seattle does, what is it?
Summer Solstice Festival.
Summer Solstice Festival, and see the naked parade. And Harvey's.
I have pictures on Facebook.
Yeah, she's got pictures on Facebook if you want to look at it.
I'll have to check that out.
They're not pretty.
Yeah, they're not pretty. She said her Harvey's 13-year-old son is kind of standing there watching the parade. He looked at his mom and said, "Can we see more boobs? I'm tired of seeing dicks."
He's a good kid.
That's fucking great.
Oh, yeah. And then, of course, Harvey is a massage therapist, and some of her clientele pays her in food.
Oh,
Yeah.
edibles.
Oh, yes. Poppy seed bread, brownies,
Fudge.
and fudge.
But, ooh.
Yeah, Erin says, I'll grab a piece of fudge, and she started eating it, and she's like, is this some special fudge? And Harvey's like, you damn right it is.
Oh, God.
Good thing I didn't have to pee at work.
Yeah, she's like, you want another piece? Yes, please.
Oh, I said nice Mary Kay Cadillac, by the way.
Oh, yeah, nice Mary Kay Cadillac, by the way.
Oh, well, you know.
I'm surprised
By the
it
way,
doesn't
I
have
just
the
got done
pink.
watching Juice Bigelow and European Gigolo. There's a scene in there, and that's what I looked like after I was done.
Bring her in.
I almost crawled through the painting. It's been a while.
Yeah, and she's like, okay, well, you want to get even more baked? And she lays out this spread. She's like, okay, well, I got, this flavor and this flavor and this flavor.
Oh, my God.
Oh, yeah.
I'm kind of
It
surprised.
was a good time.
I'm surprised, though, that the Mary Kay Cadillac doesn't have the fucking pink pearl coat on it.
All right. I'm gonna...
The Cadillac Escalade does.
Oh, the Escalade does? Because I remember, from doing body work and everything else, I remember the Eldorados had the pink pearl coat.
He used to do body work, and he's talking about he's surprised that the Mary Kay Cadillacs didn't have the pink pearl body coat.
Oh,
He said the Escalades do.
they do.
That's the only pink. Well, yeah, the Cadillacs are the only ones that are pink.
I'm getting there.
Yeah, they've got one that's it's being discontinued.
Tomorrow.
Yeah, it's being discontinued tomorrow. It's the Mustang. It's
No shit.
yeah, black Mustang with a pink pinstriping on it, and the inside the instrument panel is all pink. The lighting is all pink, and the seats are black leather with pink trim.
God, that's just creepy. I'm staring at
Someday,
these photos. I kind of want to vomit. It's like a train wreck.
Yeah, he's looking at your naked parade photos.
You want to be a caddy daddy, don't you?
Hell yeah.
Oh God, no! One of or some of the husbands of some Mary Kay national sales directors made up this YouTube video rapping about being a caddy daddy. Oh God, it's just awful.
This is creepy. A lot of people painted.
You want it. Admit it.
I'm amazed nobody has flagged
You're
any
not
of
going
these
to be
videos.
bitching when I get that entertainment system for 40 sales this year.
Well, no, not the entertainment system.
See?
It'll save me from having to buy it.
See? There's shit in it for you too, so don't bitch.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh, you know what? Mary Kay does give away like Coach purses and things like that.
Nice.
Hint, hint, Jen.
I can Skype a facial.
Oh God, don't tell my wife that. I can see her fucking doing that and be like, "Dear mom."
Well, you know.
Skype.
He's like, don't tell my wife that.
Oh hell, you know, I'm always looking for customers.
Yeah.
Once we get everything situated, I'm
We
pretty
moved out there, I'm
sure.
gonna have to rebuild my clientele. I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
hell, where do you think I'm gonna start?
Yeah.
My grandma?
No, my mom and my grandmother and everybody else that lives around here.
Yep.
She
I'll
doesn't
get
even remember my fucking name right now.
Was that? Oh, your grandmother?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah.
We'll just tell her that we weren't in Florida.
Yeah. Yeah, her grandmother lives in Florida. The only time she calls Erin is when she's got a medical question. Because I was a nurse. I've got this growth that's over here. What do you think I should do
No,
about
the
it?
last one was my armpit itches.
Oh, yeah. What should I do? Quit itching it.
Scratch it.
Yeah.
And then when you're done, go somewhere else.
It was bad.
Oh my God. All right. Well, you know what? I think we're gonna wrap it up.
All right.
I got permission to leave work early tomorrow.
Ooh,
Yeah, my wife doesn't have to work tomorrow, which is pretty cool.
that's cool.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the baby to daycare, I think.
So I can go hang out at the studio and do nothing.
Oh yeah.
All right, guys, we're gonna end this thing.
Boss, but we're on live. And, I don't want to be.
So, well,
Don't
I'm just
get me
gonna.
fired.
Well,